Everybody, welcome to the broadcast this morning. I hope everybody's doing well.
Good morning.
We're looking for videos and stuff to show and talk about, and we'll be here in a few minutes.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by the letter C and the number 4.
All right, we have a video here. It's Tucker Carlson, and the name of the video is "This Will Affect Everyone in 1 or 2 weeks."
Oh, weeks? Shit, I thought it said years.
And this video is brought to you by Elon Musk.
It's approved by Elon Musk.
Oh, approved, excuse me.
Approved. All right. Let's start out with just how filthy and
dishonest our news media are. You'll be in the shower and you'll think they're bad, but how bad are they? In fact, this is pretty clearly the beginning of the end for Joe Biden. We can't prove that. The future is unknowable. But holy smokes, it does not look good. The other channels took hundreds of millions of dollars from big pharma companies, and then they shilled for their sketchy products on the air. And as they did that, they maligned anyone who was skeptical of those products. At the very least, this was a moral crime. It was disgusting, but it was universal. It happened across the American news media. They all did it. Either way, if you're an honest person, you understand this is exactly the moment in our history when we need serious adult conversations about the world around us, a world that is changing to our detriment, and how we ought to respond to those changes. Bobby Kennedy would love to have those conversations. He's not running to get rich. He's running to make things better, but he's not allowed to have those conversations. He's been censored. Other media won't even talk to him. He criticized their advertisers. Well, as you've just heard, the Biden administration spends an awful lot of time covering up actual crimes committed by their political allies and their relatives. But for their critics, there is no such mercy. For the first time in our history, the government has begun to arrest people for saying things the White House doesn't like. That's the end of the First Amendment. Speech that's been protected for centuries in the United States is no longer protected. It's now a criminal act. It would still be constitutionally protected speech. In a free country, which we had until recently, you are allowed by definition to have dumb opinions. Most of us do, but not anymore. So that man you just saw is facing 10 years behind bars for expressing views about Ukraine that the Biden administration doesn't want to hear. That's terrifying. Does no one else think that's terrifying? It is terrifying. Is any news organization you know of so corrupt that it's willing to hurt you on behalf of its biggest advertisers? Anyone who do that is obviously Pablo Escobar level corrupt and should not be trusted. What would that look like? That level of corruption. Imagine the administration declared that if you didn't rush out and buy at least one MyPillow and then at least another booster pillow, you would not be allowed to eat out. You couldn't re-enter your own country. You couldn't have a paying job. MyPillow, they told you with a straight face, was the very linchpin of our country's public health system. Now imagine as they told you that Fox, as a news organization, endorsed it, amplified the government's message. Imagine if Fox News attacked anyone who refused to buy MyPillow as an ally of Russia, as an enemy of science. And then imagine that Fox kept up those libelous attacks even as evidence mounted that MyPillow caused heart attacks, fertility problems, and death. If Fox News did that, what would you think of Fox News? Would you trust us? Of course you wouldn't. You would know that we were liars. The question is, who is telling the truth? There are not many of those. One of them is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Robert Kennedy knew early that the COVID vaccines were both ineffective and potentially dangerous, and he said so in public to the extent he was allowed. Science has since proven Robert F. Kennedy Jr. right, unequivocally right. But Kennedy was not rewarded for this. He was vilified. He was censored because he dared to criticize their advertisers. The news media called Bobby Kennedy a Nazi, and then they attacked his family. But he kept doing it. He was not intimidated, and we were glad he wasn't. This is one of those moments when it's nice to have a truth teller around. It's helpful because suddenly the stakes are very high. Considering what's happening in Ukraine, topic most of us don't know much about because the details are not reported. It was a year ago that every media outlet in the United States, from USA Today to the New York Times, told you it was a dangerous conspiracy theory to believe the US government had ever funded secret biolabs in Ukraine. The idea was ridiculous. In fact, it was Russian disinformation. And then one day, in sworn testimony, Toria Nuland of the State Department accidentally admitted that it was true. Yes, she said, there are many secret biolabs in Ukraine. And, quote, we are now, in fact, quite concerned that Russian troops, Russian forces, may be seeking to gain control of them. Why does the US government maintain secret biolabs in a primitive country like Ukraine? Why not Austria? Why Ukraine? And why didn't we dismantle and remove these secret biolabs when the war with Russia started? Nobody ever explained that. This show was attacked for asking the question. Now we have learned that actually it is far worse than just biolabs. Not only has the Biden administration been maintaining these labs in Ukraine in the middle of a war, it also has, quote, sensitive nuclear technology in Ukraine as well. And no, we're not making that up. They admitted it today. The latest group of Americans to find their constitutionally protected opinions become felonies are, believe it or not, an organization of Black nationalist left-wingers who oppose the war in Ukraine. The DOJ has just charged many in this group with seeking to, quote, sow discord, spread pro-Russia propaganda, and interfere in elections within the United States. Now, there's no evidence they interfered with any election. You're allowed to be pro-Russia. You're allowed to be pro-anything you want in the United States. Saying things the government doesn't like, having unfashionable opinions.
I'm wondering when the hell do we have free speech and land of the free? When did all this start, damn it? I haven't heard of such things.
I heard of it.
I thought we're supposed to just say, yes, sir, no, sir, how high should I jump, sir? Yes, I'll bend over, sir. So you can, yeah, well, you know.
Or opinions that are out of step with Joe Biden's opinions, that is not a crime. You can spread pro-Russia propaganda if you want to. You can spread anti-Russia propaganda if you want to. You can say whatever you want, but not anymore. According to the indictment, the criminals in question, quote, wrote articles that contained Russian propaganda and disinformation. Now, you're very familiar with these points because you have heard them every day since last February. You've heard them repeated by every power center in the United States, the Pentagon, the White House, the leaders of both parties in Congress, CEOs, and celebrities. And most insistently of all, you've heard them from virtually every single outlet along the entire spectrum of our national news media. These are the two essential themes of the war in Ukraine, and both of them are lies. We know that they're lies because late last week, leaked intelligence about the war in Ukraine began to appear on social media. Briefing slides prepared by the US government began to show up, among other places, on Twitter. And the slides show that this is, in fact, not Ukraine's war. It's our war. The United States is a direct combatant in a war against Russia. As we speak, American soldiers are fighting Russian soldiers. So this is not a regional conflict in Eastern Europe. This is a hot war between the two primary nuclear superpowers on Earth. And yet this war has never been formally declared. It has not been authorized by Congress. And for that reason, this war is a violation of American law. It is a crime. Second thing we learned from these slides is that despite direct US involvement, Ukraine is in fact losing the war. 7 Ukrainians are being killed for every Russian. Ukrainian air defenses have been utterly degraded. Ukraine is losing. The Biden administration is perfectly aware of this. They're panicked about it, but they have lied about this fact to the public. Just 2 weeks ago, for example, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin told the US Senate that Russian military power is, quote, waning. In other words, Russia is losing the war. That was a lie. He knew it was when he said it, but he repeated it in congressional testimony. That is a crime. But Lloyd Austin has not been arrested for committing that crime. Instead, the only man who has been taken into custody, or likely ever will be, is a 21-year-old Massachusetts Air National Guardsman who leaked the slides that showed that Lloyd Austin was lying. He revealed the crimes, therefore he's the criminal. What exactly is, quote, sensitive American nuclear technology? Sensitive American nuclear technology? Probably not to produce energy. No one in the media is going to ask that question. But if it's in the middle of Ukraine, in the middle of a war, it stands to reason this sensitive American nuclear technology has military applications. In other words, these are nuclear weapons. What else could they be? We'll stop speculating there. But take 3 steps back. This is all so crazy and so reckless, it is hard to believe it's happening. Here you have a Democratic president gone completely off the rails, completely, with existentially dangerous consequences, prosecuting a war that can only hurt the United States, a war with no upside. It is awful to watch, but it is not without precedent. Something similar happened 55 years ago in 1968, another remarkably turbulent and ugly year in American history that has many parallels to this. That spring, in March of 1968, Robert F. Kennedy Sr., the former Attorney General, the brother to the slain president, announced his candidacy against the incumbent, fellow Democrat Lyndon Johnson. And the overriding issue then, as now, was a pointless war then in progress. To be clear, Robert F. Kennedy was not against all war on principle. He was against that war because he believed, with a lot of evidence, that it was not helping the United States in any way. But you weren't allowed to say that. He did. Party bosses hated him for that, but rank-and-file Democrats loved him. They put pictures of his face in their homes like icons. In the end, they named a football stadium after him in Washington. That was more than half a century ago. He was, of course, murdered in June of that year. But now Kennedy's son is embarking on a similar challenge to his own party, and for similar reasons. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced today that he is running for president in the primary against Joe Biden. In fact, this is pretty clearly the beginning of the end for Joe Biden. We can't prove that. The future is unknowable. But holy smokes, it does not look good. And it doesn't look good in a very recognizable way. Somewhere in his basement rec room, drinking a Courvoisier on ice, Andrew Cuomo is chuckling to himself. He's seen this movie before. Joe Biden's own aides keep finding stacks of felonies he's left around the place, in his office, in his car. And instead of throwing this evidence in the fireplace, as under normal circumstances they would, they're sending these documents on to the Justice Department. That's not a good sign. Meanwhile, Biden's attorney general, the most unscrupulous, unethical attorney general this country has ever had, has somehow decided that actually, in order to maintain his unsullied record of nonpartisanship, he's going to have to pass these documents, these stacks of felonies, onto an independent counsel because that always works out well for a sitting president. And by the way, in this case, the independent counsel is a Republican. So the Department of Justice knew on November 4th that Joe Biden had committed crimes. November 4th was 4 days before a pivotal midterm election. So naturally, the DOJ didn't issue a press release about it. They didn't dispatch the FBI to raid Biden's home in Rehoboth and root through Dr. Jill's underwear drawer. No chance of that. Biden may be a terrible president, but he's still a Democrat. It's not like he's orange.
We're in Joe's underwear drawer?
That's
I don't remember that one. I must have been fucking really high.
He's got granny panties.
Anna, Wolf Lady says he's got granny panties. I don't know.
Well, he's old. Fuck.
So Merrick Garland, who is, and we cannot emphasize this enough, a soulless hack who will do anything the Democratic Party requires of him. Merrick Garland kept the news secret long enough to keep other Democrats out of the blast zone. Why hurt everybody else? They're just trying to hurt one guy. It's Joe Biden. So it wasn't until today that we knew Biden had been stashing state secrets in his Corvette. If you're still wondering where there is an organized effort within the White House to hurt Joe Biden, all you need to know is this: his staff keeps putting him out there in public to talk, which of course he can't do. He can barely read a prepared statement. Notice they did not do that during the last.
Yeah, Nubs, they have a reason to commit treason. Duh.
Presidential campaign in 2020 because they knew it wouldn't help and they wanted the White House. And it helps even less now, but they're doing it. Why are they doing that now? Well, here's a guess. Right after the midterm elections in November, Joe Biden made it clear he had no plans to step aside and make way for Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama. I'm thinking of running again, he said, and he seemed to mean it. Oh, he shouldn't have said that. Next thing you know, he's got a special counsel crawling around his life, armed with subpoena power and a big staff and a big budget. Well, that's how things work in Washington, they'll tell you. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Not unless you have no choice. If you're the president of the United States, a special counsel is the last thing you want. Why? Because you have no idea where that investigation will go. Ask Bill Clinton. He's still mad about it. And that's why there was no special counsel appointed when Hunter Biden's laptop proved that the Biden family was selling influence to the Chinese government. That's why no special counsel ever interviewed Tony Bobulinski, because that was all before Joe Biden suggested he might run again and thwart the ambitions of the next generation of Democratic candidates. So Joe Biden is in very serious trouble tonight. Classified documents that Joe Biden, quote, stored in his garage and left at the Penn Center have been floating around for a full 6 years since Joe Biden left the vice president's office in January of 2017. So it's fair to assume they've been moved around a lot, but they're suddenly surfacing now, right after the midterm election. Why is that? No one has even attempted a convincing explanation. Instead, the media is pretending to argue that it's not a big deal in the first place that Joe Biden stored classified documents near his Corvette, because he admitted doing it when he got caught. And if you admit you've committed a crime, it's not a crime. Weirdly, we haven't heard a lot about the federal tax investigation into Hunter Biden since. And that is strange if you think about it, since we now have tens of thousands of new IRS agents to enforce tax law. And in fact, it wasn't that long ago that the Biden Justice Department, remember this, indicted Donald Trump's 75-year-old accountant because he failed to declare the full value of his work vehicle. I think he was in handcuffs. But somehow these same enforcers of the law cannot be bothered to bring the Hunter Biden investigation to fruition, not when they have a laptop proving that he took millions from the government of China. How does that work exactly? Did he pay every dollar in federal taxes? Did he fully declare the value of his work vehicle or of his crack?
So I think we should be cautious with AI because it affects it's a danger to the public. So I'm sort of worried that, hey, civilization, if we don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers, perhaps increase a little bit, then civilization is going to crumble. So I've been thinking about AI for a long time, since I was in college, really. It's one of the things that, the sort of 4 or 5 things I thought would really affect the future dramatically. It is fundamentally profound in that the smartest creatures, as far as we know, on this earth are humans. We're obviously weaker than, say, chimpanzees and less agile, but real smarter. So now what happens when something vastly smarter than the smartest person comes along in silicon form? It's very difficult to predict what will happen in that circumstance. Google had acquired DeepMind, and so Google and DeepMind together had about 3/4 of all the AI talent in the world. They obviously had a tremendous amount of money and more computers than anyone else. So I'm like, okay, we have a unipolar world here, where there's just one company that has close to a monopoly on AI talent and computers. And the person who's in charge doesn't seem to care about safety. This is not good. So then I thought, what's the furthest thing from Google would be like a nonprofit that is fully open, because Google was closed for profit. So that's why the open in OpenAI refers to open source, transparency, so people know what's going on. And that we don't want to have like while I'm normally in favor of for profit, we don't want the
We know everything. How could he ever say that? We know everything that's going on in our country and our politicians. There's no backdoor dealings. There's no fluff. There's no any of that. How, I just tell you, I'm just so angry. How could they ever say we're doing such cruel and injustice things? Just the nerve of some people.
This to be sort of a profit maximizing demon from hell.
That's right.
So that's how OpenAI would.
So you want specious incentives here, incentives that.
Yes, I think we want pro-human.
Yeah.
Let's make the future good for the humans.
Yes.
Yes, because we're humans. So I think we should be cautious with AI, and.
I'm a human, you're a human, we all can be human too.
Really?
I think there should be some government oversight because it affects it's a danger to the public. And so when you have things that are a danger to the public, like let's say food and drugs, that's why we have the Food and Drug Administration,
right,
and the Federal Aviation Administration, the FCC. We have these agencies to oversee things that affect the public, where there could be public harm. And you don't want companies cutting corners on safety, and then having people suffer as a result. So that's why I've actually for a long time been a strong advocate of AI regulation.
That's right. Safety first. We got to make sure that we're safe. Don't matter if you're safe, as long as we're safe. Damn it.
But I think regulation it's not fun to be regulated. It's somewhat arduous to be regulated. I have a lot of experience with regulated industries because automotive is highly regulated. You could fill this room with all the regulations that are required for a production car just in the United States. And then there's a whole different set of regulations in Europe and China and the rest of the world. So I think we should take this seriously, and we should have a regulatory agency. I think it needs to start with a group that initially seeks insight into AI, then solicits opinion from industry, and then has proposed rulemaking, and then those rules will probably, hopefully, grudgingly be accepted by the major players in AI. And I think we'll have a.
Yeah, Nub, if you get too close to that piece of shit, we might not be able to distinguish you from one pile of shit to another. Because you're a piece of shit, I've been told. So how am I supposed to know what piece of shit's what piece of shit, damn it?
It's all perspective.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Better chance of advanced AI being beneficial to humanity in that circumstance.
So, but all regulations start with a perceived danger, and planes fall out of the sky, or food causes botulism.
Yes.
I don't think the average person playing with AI on his iPhone perceives any danger. Can you just roughly explain what you think the dangers might be?
The danger, really, AI is perhaps more dangerous than, say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance or bad car production, in the sense that it has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of civilizational destruction. There's movies like Terminator, but it wouldn't quite happen like Terminator, because the intelligence would be in the data centers.
Right.
The robot's just the end effector. But I think perhaps what you may be alluding to.
There you go again, Nubs. You see, the problem is your perspective and his perspective and my perspective and their perspective are all different perspectives. So there.
Here is that regulations.
Oh, but I forgot. Only their perspective matters. So
That's right.
put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Are really only put into effect after something terrible has happened.
That's correct.
If that's the case for AI, and we only put in regulations after something terrible has happened, it may be too late to actually put the regulations in place. The AI may be in control at that point.
You think that's real? It is conceivable that AI could take control and reach a point where you couldn't turn it off, and it would be making the decisions for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
No, that's definitely where things are headed. Things like say ChatGPT, which is based on GPT-4 from OpenAI, which is a company that I played a critical role in creating, unfortunately.
Back when it was a nonprofit?
Yes. The reason OpenAI exists at all is that Larry Page and I used to be close friends, and I would stay at his house in Palo Alto, and I would talk to him late into the night about AI safety. And at least my perception was that Larry was not taking AI safety seriously enough. And
what did he say about it?
He really seemed to be wants sort of digital superintelligence, basically digital God, if you will, as soon as possible.
He wanted that?
Yes. He's made many public statements over the years that the whole goal of Google is what's called AGI, artificial general intelligence, or artificial superintelligence. And I agree with him that there's great potential for good, but there's also potential for bad. And so if you've got some radical new technology, you want to try to take a set of actions that maximize the probability it will do good and minimize the probability it will do bad things.
Yes.
It can't just be hell for leather. Let's just go, barreling forward and, hope for the best. And then at one point, I said, well, what about, we're going to make sure humanity's okay here.
Have you heard of the powerful method to achieve almost 20/20 vision without surgery? The best part is,
how can you have a democracy with technology like that? I mean, if democracy is, government by the people, each person's vote is equal to every other person's vote. I mean, and people are choosing their votes freely. Can you have a democracy with this?
Well, that's why I raised the concern of AI being a significant influence in elections. And even if you say that AI doesn't have agency, well, it's very likely that people will use the AI as a tool in elections. If the AI is smart enough, are they using the tool, or is the tool using them? So I think things are getting weird, and they're getting weird fast.
So you've seen a couple regional bank collapses.
Yeah.
And we've been told that's not a big deal. that these are isolated and each one collapsed for unique reasons. It's not systemic in any sense. What's your sense of the stability of the American banking system?
Well, it's actually at this point a global banking system problem. So, we have a situation here where it's not that the canary in the coal mine has died, but the miners are starting to die too. Silicon Valley Bank collapsing overnight is one hell of a big canary. It's more like a turkey. I mean, it's not like some small fry thing. I think that there is a serious danger with the global banking system. There's a strong argument that if you were to actually mark to market the portfolios of the banks, the loans and whatnot, that the entire banking industry would have negative equity.
It feels that way.
Yes. So if you look at, say, commercial real estate, like offices and whatnot, the whole work from home thing has substantially reduced office usage in cities around the world. I think San Francisco's at 40% off. And San Francisco is like an extreme example, but I think it's on 40% vacancy. Even New York has.
All right, I gotta fess up. I did all the blocking. I blocked Moose from Sly, and I blocked Sly from Moose. And then I got Chuck, and I threw Nubs in there, and whoever else I could think of, because I gotta lay down the Dirty Larry law. Damn it, the puppet master of all puppet masters.
I think almost all cities at this point have record vacancies in commercial real estate. But the commercial real estate used to be something that was a grade A asset. If a bank had commercial real estate holdings, those would be considered the highest security, some of the safest assets you could have. Now, that is not the case anymore. One company after another is canceling their leases or not renewing their leases. Or if they go bankrupt, there's nothing for the bank who owns that real estate to go after, because they're previously strong company, now dead. What do you go after at that point? We really haven't seen the commercial real estate shoe drop. That's more like an anvil, not a shoe. So the stuff we've seen thus far actually hasn't even. It's only slightly real estate portfolio degradation, but that will become a very serious thing later this year, in my view. I think if we see, which we're likely to see, a drop in house prices because the interest rates are too high. And for most people, when buying a house, they look at the monthly payment.
Of course.
If you're a 30-year mortgage, the vast majority of it is interest. So if the Fed rate is high, you have a high base interest rate. Effectively, the price you can pay for the house drops because you now have to pay more interest, which means that if you've got a fixed monthly payment, you can now afford to buy a house for less money. It effectively drops the prices of houses.
Yes.
This is the kind of thing that tends to accelerate, so that then you can get negative equity in the home market as well. And so if banks end up having loan losses in both their commercial and, well, they're definitely going to have loan losses in their commercial portfolio, but also in their mortgage portfolio, this is a dire situation.
Hey, Nubs, do I just need to call the Nubs Insurance and I save 30% on my car insurance? Is it 1-800-NUBS Revenge?
No, it's 1-800 eat shit.
Oh, damn it.
There is a solution to mitigate the magnitude of the damage here, which is for the Fed to lower the rate. But they raised the rate again. Now, if I recall correctly, which important caveat, I think the last time the Fed raised rates going into a recession was 1929.
What happened next?
Yeah, the Great Depression.
I think you have to check out StreamYard first and see if they're on your block list. I'm not sure if YouTube has one or not, but I would check both.
Well, I know YouTube has one, but I didn't.
But the concern is if the Fed drops rates again, then inflation will accelerate, and you can't do that in an election.
So inflation is going to happen no matter what. If you increase the money supply, you get inflation.
Right.
So there's not some magical cure for getting rid of inflation, except to increase the productivity, the output of goods and services. What is money? You've got these sort of it's basically numbers in a database that sum up to some total. Then you've got the output of goods and services of the economy, and as long as the ratio of money to ratio of goods and services stays, if that stays constant, you have no inflation. If you add more money, if you add money to the system faster than you increase goods and services,
right,
then you have inflation. So all of these COVID sort of stimulus bills were not paid for. They just generated more currency, more money was created because the federal government, the checks always pass, unless you hit a debt limit, which there's probably going to be some debt limit crisis later this year. But provided you haven't hit the debt limit, the federal government, unlike state governments or city governments or individuals, can simply issue more money, and that's what they did. I mean, as the old saying goes, there's no free lunch.
Free lunches.
No free lunch?
No.
What the hell, Over?
If you could just...
No. Too bad, so sad.
Wait.
You don't got your 85 cents, you don't even get milk. Come on now.
I was in the free lunch line. At least that's what they told me.
There's no line like that now because it would be discriminatory.
Oh, I forgot. Damn it.
Right? It would show all the poor kids. So you got to mix them up.
Issue massive amounts of money without negative consequences. Why don't we just take that to the limit and make everyone a trillionaire? They tried that in Venezuela. How'd that work out?
Well, they had to eat zoo animals.
Right. It's not good. There's no free lunch. There's not some ability to issue money and not have inflation.
But you think that we take our existence here for granted?
Yeah, I think
there are threats to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think we should not assume that civilization is robust. And if you look at the history of civilizations, the rise and fall of the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Sumerians, Rome, there's throughout the world there've been rise and fall of many civilizations. So there's an arc, there's sort of a life cycle arc to civilizations, just as there is to individual humans.
Yes.
And
I gotta put my foot down, damn it. You guys better not say that name one more time. Because you know what the hell happens when we say certain people's names 3 times.
I will have to put you in the basement with the lights off.
Yeah.
So there.
And we'll have Jack Stench in that back room.
Oh, damn.
And I think we just want to make sure that we have civilization go onward and upward. And that's, for example, why I'm concerned about decreasing birth rates and the fact that, for example, Japan had twice as many deaths last year as births. So that's they're a leading indicator.
Can I say, and you've written and talked a lot about this, but can I just ask you to pause just for a parenthetical note? Why is that? I mean, the urge to have sex and to procreate is, after breathing and eating, the most basic urge. Yeah. How has it been subverted?
Well, it's just in the past we could rely upon simple.
Nubs, you better get your child in line there, damn it.
Limbic system rewards
yes.
in order to procreate. But once you have birth control and abortions and whatnot, now you can still satisfy the limbic instinct, but not procreate. So we haven't yet evolved to deal with that. because this is all fairly recent, the last 50 years or so, for birth control. So I'm sort of worried that, hey, civilization, if we don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers, perhaps increase a little bit, then civilization is going to crumble. There's the old question of will civilization end with a bang or a whimper? Well, it's currently trying to end with a whimper in adult diapers.
Yes.
Which is depressing as hell.
Now, wait a minute. Behave and Dirty Larry, isn't that like a contradiction type reality concept? I could be wrong. I have before, but
It depends on the definition of dirty.
I'm not sure a Dirty Larry can behave. I don't think that's in the job description. I could be wrong. I let the inquiring minds enlighten me.
I thought we had that conversation yesterday.
You guys better behave yourselves down there.
He said there was 2 minutes of silence. They had to start coming up with something.
Oh, am I broadcasting excellence is lacking?
He's slack-a-lacking.
Well, some things do never change.
We have 8 days left. Oh, that's an hour long now. That's too long. No. Becoming nobody. You heard.
Sorry, we're reading videos and trying to find a video to show here.
Oh, damn. I saw that. Blame it on Paul.
Hey, We can only blame ourselves, damn it.
Oh.
What you gonna do when Dirty Larry comes for you? Starting at 6 o'clock tonight, live on Channel 27.
Hey, what about me?
You're the next season.
Michael didn't name me.
Hey, Michael.
Hell no. We'll take that challenge.
Yeah, but you see, the biggest problem is I don't know where that place is. So somebody's got to show me where the place is so I can put her in that place. To know where the place is, to be able to put it into place so I can put it into place when it's in place.
It's always 420. On a flat Earth map, please.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we got another video here. The title of this video is Black Man Strip Searched in Street in Front of His Family by Jacksonville Sheriffs. Brought to you by Roland Martin. Please like, subscribe, and share. And this video is used for entertainment, educational, and fair use. Thank you.
Did you just have me?
Officers in the middle of a street in front of his family members. The officers find nothing. But the black man, Ronnie Reed, was arrested for selling cocaine, and he's headed to court on drug charges next month. Now, drugs that were not found when they stopped him. Here's body camera footage of this search.
See you later,
That's weird, man. Not like that.
I went to search for drugs, you started jumping up and down.
No, I told you could take me in the back and you can cuff my nuts.
You can
If
take,
you wanted to.
I don't want to cuff you. Want to take in the back?
Man, ease up, man.
And you're a big net advocate, aren't you? You're a big net.
I am.
Yeah, you're all about that shit.
I am. Let's loosen up the pants here. Yeah, already loosened, bro. The belt, I'm buckling all that shit. Okay.
Fully down. Go.
Cool.
So we got a light.
Okay. I don't want her to look at your genitals. Let's go over here. All right. Light, somebody?
Hi, man.
Somebody got light? Come on. All right. Nothing's going to go inside of you, all right? But we have to make sure you don't have anything else. All right. Don't stop doing that.
You gonna lean on my car? It ain't my car, it's the city's car, so cool.
Lean forward.
Bro, man, come on.
See,
man.
this is no. Stop. You're gonna lean forward.
Bro.
You're gonna lean forward.
Do this.
Bro, listen, bro. You doing too much.
No, I'm not.
Nope.
You doing too much.
I just told you nothing was gonna be put inside of you, but you gotta let me look.
You can't bend me over like that, bro. I know my rights.
Stop. He's clenching hard. He's got something up there.
Man, I ain't missing nothing.
Stop.
Put him against the car right here. Please stop.
That's up in his ass, probably. I mean, he's clenched so hard.
You ain't finna stick your finger in my ass.
No, I'm not. You're right.
Listen, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna do it in the jail.
Okay, cool. Let them do it in the jail, bro, because y'all ain't finna stick your finger up my ass, man.
I just told you I wasn't, but you unclench your asshole and just let it come out. You can just get one charge now.
Stop clenching that ass, damn it.
Hey, Auntie, back up. Auntie, back up. Please. Please go in the yard, Auntie. Please. Please.
Wow. The investigative reporter who broke the case, Nicole Manna of the Tributary, is joining us now from Jacksonville. Okay, Nicole, I'm confused here. So how is he charged on drugs, but they didn't find any drugs?
I mean, we're confused about that too. And that's a question that we have asked the state attorney's office. If you didn't find anything, how could you charge him with this? Why is Ronnie Reed being prosecuted? And they declined to answer our questions because of the ongoing criminal case.
So you can hear the...
Well, of course they didn't find any drugs because his asshole was clenched so tight they couldn't stick their fist up it, damn it.
Cops on the body cam claiming that he was clenching his butt as if he had drugs in his anus, but they didn't recover any drugs.
No drugs were recovered. The $20 that he was allegedly given in exchange for the cocaine was not recovered. It says that very clearly in a police report. You don't see any of that happening in body camera footage. You don't see the recovery of money. You don't see the recovery of drugs. And that's not in the police report either. So no, nothing was found.
Is it department policy to literally strip search somebody?
Absolutely not. We have reached out to the Jacksonville Sheriff.
He was clenching his asshole. I was scared for my life.
Sheriff's office, of course, several times in reporting this story, and they also declined to answer our questions, actually citing that they've now opened an internal affairs investigation because of our questions. But we did find the policy that says only correction officers can conduct these searches.
Right. I mean, we have right here in accordance with Order 612, corrections search procedures, strip searches of arrestees should only be conducted by corrections officers, and body cavity searches should only be conducted by designated medical personnel. That wasn't a medical personnel who was on the scene.
No, it wasn't a medical personnel and it wasn't a correctional officer.
Have y'all heard of anything like this happening before?
I have.
What the hell are they talking about? I saw that medical equipment. It was the flashlight. That flashlight was certified medical equipment. Damn it.
I've heard of strip search cases happening in Citrus County. One of the attorneys that I talked to for the story filed a lawsuit in Citrus County years ago over a strip search. But other attorneys that I talked to for the story said that they have never heard of this happening. They've never seen it happen. And I haven't found any cases of it happening in Duval County.
What has been the reaction from people there in Duval County? I mean, has this story really picked up, gotten legs and just outraged people?
Yes, it is definitely taken off on social media. We have seen nothing but outrage. We have seen nothing but people asking the same questions that you and I are asking, and the same questions that we put into the story. Why was he strip searched? Why was he not taken to the jail? Why is he being prosecuted? Why are the names of the officers redacted in the police reports? So there's a lot of outrage. There's a lot of questions, and hopefully we will get answers to those soon.
When does he head to court?
He heads to court for a pretrial hearing on the 27th, and then he goes into jury selection in mid-May if, you know, the state continues and doesn't drop the charges in his next hearing.
Yeah, Michael, I got it queued up after this one. I'll show that one, man. Thank you.
Again, unbelievable. Nicole, anything else?
I think you've about covered it.
All right. Thanks a bunch. Good work there. And we'll keep following the Tributary to see what happens next. All right, folks, back to our Brother Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens.
See here.
When was it?
I didn't say when it was. Our next video we have coming up here, brought to you by Michael Stevens, gave us this video. The video was produced by My Castle One Way. The title of the video is FBI Agent Was Confused and Arrested by Police for Being Black. Terrible Ending. Say No to Racism. Oops. Damn it. Did I just screw up?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
There it is. Yay.
You're assuming I'm someone that I'm not. Are you Jake? No, I'm not Jake. You look like Jake. There you go. I look like Jake. Yeah, you're Jake. No. Yes, you are. No, I'm opposite. You're Jake. Okay. Get out of my face, man. You guys are harassing me. Yes, you guys are. Hey, you're fucking harassing me. Yes, you are. No. He's harassing me. Why are you harassing me? You're assuming I'm someone I'm not. Okay, if you're not, then no. You're free to go. Okay. Oh, am I being detained? Yeah, you are. For what? You think? Yeah. That's an illusion. That's an illusion. You think? Stand up for your hands. I'm not. For what? I don't have a warrant. You're very wrong. Okay. No, you are wrong. What do you mean if you're wrong? You're wrong. You're wrong. We're not gonna play this game together. Hold on. No. Hold on. You guys are not gonna try to manhandle me. I'm not under arrest. I didn't do nothing. For what? For what? Can you tell me for what? For what? I'm under arrest for what? No. If you got the wrong guy, I'm shooting all of you guys. Let me get your card. Can I get your card? Okay. I'm not standing up front. Listen, I'm not under arrest. I don't have a warrant. I don't have any officers. Hey, yo. Hey, officer. No. Matter of fact, look at my ID.
He got the wrong guy. I'm telling y'all.
Wrong ID, motherfucker. You guys still got the wrong guy. You guys are fucking stupid.
That's not you.
You guys are racial profile thinking I'm somebody. I take both of you motherfuckers. Take them cuffs off.
Sir.
I got them. Take them cuffs off. I'll take both of you motherfuckers right now.
This guy got the cleanest record. Y'all just.
I'll take both of you motherfuckers right now. Take the cuffs off.
For me, y'all
got the
wrong.
Stupid, man. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers.
Well, they want to get tough. Grab his fucking wall.
You are stupid. I don't know how you
Hey,
became
y'all
a
got
cop.
the wrong dude.
Matter of fact, anybody can become a cop nowadays. Yeah, so you guys really had no other choice to do? You guys really had nothing else to go to college for but be a cop and harass me? To assume I'm somebody I'm not? My ID's in my back pocket. Watch how funny this is. Go ahead.
Watch this.
No, don't hate me. Look at it. Oh, what does that say? What does that say? Oh.
Wrong guy.
Oh.
Wrong guy.
Oh my God! No, get the fuck off me, dude! Get off me, dude!
Bro, you fucked up.
Matter of fact, I need your cards. I need your supervisor over here. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor over here. You guys are the stupidest motherfuckers I ever met in my life. How'd you guys? What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Look at him. Get him. Tough guy. And this guy here.
No, what do you mean? I look like him. I need your guys. Supervisor. Sir, can you please come here? Are you the supervisor? These guys are racist profiling me. They assume I'm someone that I'm not. I told them I'm not who they think I am.
And
They said, nope, you are. I'm positive you are. So I need their cards. I need your card. I need your card. I need your card. No. Yes, I request your card. Why is that?
Bro, that was fucked up.
You guys work for us.
No, these are the people.
Yes, I'm the people. You guys serve us. So
That's because they're corrupt as
I would like.
fuck.
Come on, baby. Come on. Okay, I would like your card. Yep. And I'm gonna follow support on you, and you. Because you guys are all stupid. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers I ever met in my life.
See you later. You're glad? Why, bro?
You guys really work?
This motherfucker.
Is that how you guys work nowadays? You assume someone is someone, and that's it? That's all you guys need? Yeah? Oh my God! What is American gangster?
We're allowed to.
You're allowed to.
Allowed to what? Talk to somebody. It wasn't allowed to talk to somebody. You arrested him.
Assume I'm someone and try to.
Right, and he made a mistake, and then once he figured out who you
No.
were, he unhandcuffed you.
What if somebody
did that to you? What if somebody did that to you?
I was going to tell anyways.
Your ID, honey?
There's no thin blue line going on. How in the hell could anybody insinuate that there's a thin blue line? It really makes me angry.
Huh?
I was going to tell anyways.
You got life fucked up. You ain't gonna just buckle up and just
leave. Let's get out of here. You guys leave. Leave. You guys get the fuck out of here. No, you guys have a good night. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Get the fuck out of here, piece of shit. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers I ever met in my life. Get the fuck out of my face.
We're not in your face. What do you mean? You just arrested me over here.
You guys just try to
release us. So if he wants to make a complaint, we will make it.
I will make a complaint.
All right.
Believe me, I will. I will make a complaint on all three of you guys.
That's fine.
Do your job better.
No,
You guys.
What do you mean? They got emojis in the Bible now. So there. You know, they're getting with the program.
Supposed to be upstanding fucking citizens. You
They're
guys
not.
supposed to be
They're bogus as
upholding
shit.
the law. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever met. Go. Get the fuck out of here. Go. Let's go. Come on, man.
Let's go.
That's the stupidest shit I ever met, man.
You good, bro? You all right?
Let's
go.
You all right?
No, there's three times.
Tell me about your game.
Stupid, not one bit. So you guys can make a mistake and kill someone and be like, oh, well,
You don't give a
sorry,
fuck. I don't see
No,
anybody
we not
that
niggas.
got shot.
How do you know? This could have turned out somebody could have got killed or no?
Now we talk about shit.
Nobody did.
Somebody
What
could
are we
have got
talking
killed.
about?
Nobody did.
Oh, so until it happens, that's when you guys take
So you're not
try to take some responsibility.
So we're not from
Y'all-
the
Nobody
last.
got hurt. Nobody's going to jail. See you
Dumbest
later.
motherfuckers, piece of shit ass cops. You see that shit, yo?
Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. I seen that a long time ago. But thank you, Michael.
Let me tell you what, them boys started squirming right quick, didn't they?
Yeah, so they FBI, they're like, oh fuck, we fucked up.
Honey, you just turn right here and we'll let you loose. Mm-mm-mm.
Collapse has begun. 20 retailers collapsing right in front of our eyes. That might be interesting.
Oh, no, some are Walmart, so. That was their own fault.
All right, we got, let's see here. Yeah, where I'm going. We got another video here queued up. It's, the title of the video is 20 Retailers Collapsing Right in Front of Our Eyes, brought to you by Epic Economists. Please like, subscribe, and share. This video is used for entertainment, fair use, and educational purposes. Thank you.
Well said.
The carnage in the retail sector does not stop. Even established names that have been with us for centuries
I love the commentary. I love the voice.
I thought
are
my
now
mom
starting
was going to die when Mervin's closed. Oh my
to
God.
fall apart all around us. due to the toughest economic environment we've seen since the 1970s. Consumers will lose some of their favorite stores this year, according to data provided by several sources familiar with the matter, from Starbucks to Disney, from apparel retailers to department stores. Everyone in the industry seems to be on the edge, and mass shutdowns are already happening as retailers grapple with the impact of declining sales, inflation, and huge debt burdens at a time of increased financial volatility and higher potential for disaster. Today, we've decided to compile several companies that are fighting for their life in 2023. Only the strongest will keep standing, and you should check this video out to see if your favorite brand is on the bankruptcy watch list. But before moving on, we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Without further ado, here are 20 retailers collapsing right in front of our eyes. 1. Kohl's. The former department store has been in trouble for years. When it founded in 1946, Kohl's entered the market as a supermarket chain. But over the course of 2 decades, the industry changed, and the company started to be crushed by bigger names in the grocery sector, leading its executives to rebrand it as a department store. Unfortunately, department stores were and still are the biggest victims of the retail apocalypse, forcing Kohl's to exit the sector in 2022 and restructure its operations to retail fitness, athleisure, and denim clothing. However, data provided by insiders shows that for the past 7 months, Kohl's retail sales have dropped. The company's thin margins, coupled with a nationwide decline in discretionary spending, are financially eviscerating Kohl's, which is now on Moody's Analytics bankruptcy watch list for 2023. 2. David's Bridal. Known as the Walmart of weddings, the bridal retail chain just filed for bankruptcy and announced it has plans to lay off 82% of its staff, or around 9,200 workers. The company was in distress for several months before seeking Chapter 11 protection. That marked the second bankruptcy in 5 years. CEO James Markham revealed that in case the company does not find a buyer soon, all stores may be closed by the end of this year, an announcement that sparked anxiety among brides-to-be from all over the country. 3. Gymboree. Since 2021, the struggling children's apparel retailer has been experiencing severe cash flow problems, declining foot traffic, and increased competition. In March, a Moody's report downgraded Gymboree to negative, and just a few days after, news about its most recent bankruptcy filing was released. The company closed 450 stores and laid off hundreds of employees without giving a WARN notice. As a result, on top of a complicated bankruptcy process, the company is also coping with a multi-million-dollar class action lawsuit from former staff members. 4. 99-cents only stores. The discount chain has already restructured its debt multiple times out of court, but it hasn't fixed its underlying financial problems, and persistent inflation and higher operational costs are worsening its internal issues. The company has over 350 locations in 4 states, but consumer demand is falling steadily as people complain about rising prices. Experts note that 99-cents only stores are at a competitive disadvantage compared to larger retailers that have a significantly bigger network of suppliers and market leverage to keep prices low. The discount chain also reported negative cash flow for 3 consecutive quarters. Its low ratings are also an indication that more trouble is ahead for the company. 5. Tom's Shoes. The socially conscious footwear brand, which used to donate a pair of shoes to charity for every pair purchased, has been facing increased pressure for several years as prices jump and sales go down. There's no secret that over the last 4 or 5 years, Tom's has gone through a revenue decline. Magnus Vedhammer, Tom's CEO since 2020, told Bloomberg. Last year, to control its debt, it stopped donating shoes and started to donate a share of its.
Our 99-cent store only cost $1.25 here, so I'll tell you what. I'll sell it to you for $1.50 and you'll be saving 50 cents, Nubs. Come on, let's work something out.
And watch what the prices of the stuff in the freezers are, because some of those are $3 and $5. They're not all $1.25.
How could you ever say or insinuate such things?
Profits to charity in order to prevent a cash flow crisis. However, its debt rating was downgraded last summer. Retail analysts predict that this summer may be the last for Tom's Shoes. 6. True Religion. The Los Angeles-based fashion retailer has been hit with slumping sales as premium-priced jeans have given way to trendy athleisure clothing. It first filed for bankruptcy in 2017 due to a $350 million debt loan. In 2020, the pandemic led the company to file for Chapter 11 for the second time as the economy slowed down. Since then, it has closed 64 stores and now a third bankruptcy looms, given that demand for apparel continues to fall. 7. Tops, the supermarket company that has roughly 180 Tops-friendly Markets locations in New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania, is at.
If your business kept on employees through the pandemic, Innovation Refunds can see if it may qualify for a payroll tax.
Serious risk of disappearing from the U.S. economic landscape. According to the Wall Street Journal, the already bankrupt regional grocery chain has a substantial debt load, and it is paying $375 million in dividends, consequently making its business unprofitable and unsustainable, analysts have written. So far, no potential buyers have signaled interest to acquire the indebted company. That's why experts in the sector believe that Tops is being left to die. 8. JOANN. The crafting retailer's balance sheet has been looking quite messy over the past couple of years. During lockdowns, the company has actually seen sales booming, with more people than ever picking up new hobbies like sewing and knitting. But after the economy reopened, JOANN has had a difficult time keeping its numbers up. In the last quarter of 2022, net sales declined by 6.8% compared to the same period a year ago, to $463.3 million. JOANN's gross profit also decreased by 20% during that period, and its debt rose to $21.5 million. Conditions still look dire for the company in 2023. They recently announced it will be closing several stores, laying off hundreds of workers as it attempts to reduce costs to save the business. 9. Morphe. Morphe Cosmetics, a cosmetics and beauty manufacturer founded in 2008 and most known for its partnerships with beauty YouTubers like James Charles, Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, is closing its doors for good. The company is shutting down all of its stores in the United States. The announcement came after the company has been hit by several lawsuits over the last year, including one by the owners of Arden Fair Mall, where Morphe allegedly failed to pay rent in 2022. Moreover, Morphe's parent company, Former Brands, has now filed for bankruptcy. 10. Sears. The downfall of Sears has been playing out for many years. The retailer continuously closed stores since it filed for bankruptcy in 2018. But 2023 may be the year the once popular department store officially shuts its doors permanently. The company decided to sell off parts of itself to help generate income and diversify its revenue stream, but to little avail as the company wasn't able to make profits. Peter Verardi, retail expert and CEO of Market Gap Pro, said during an interview with Best Life. It's also important to note that the company hasn't made a full-year profit since 2011, Due to these reasons, 2023 might be the year Sears goes extinct. 11. Belk. The North Carolina-based department store chain that operates in 16 states returned to Moody's bankruptcy watch list in January after also making an appearance in 2021. In 2023, experts predict department stores and apparel brands will be more vulnerable in shifts in consumer demand and will particularly be hard hit by the inflation on disposable income spending. Many discretionary companies in the apparel and department store space are now at risk of declining as discounts increase and consumers spend more cautiously. This increases the risk for retailers such as Belk, Moody's analysts highlighted. 12. Christopher & Banks. The women's apparel retailer founded in 1956 first filed for bankruptcy in 2021, conducting out-of-business sales of 40% to 60% across hundreds of locations. Christopher & Banks president and CEO Kerry Jones said the company chose to seek protection due to the financial distress resulting from the pandemic and its ongoing impact. At the moment, over 400 stores are closing all around America as Christopher & Banks say their last goodbyes to their loyal customers. 13. Starbucks. Not even the world's biggest coffee house was able to escape the retail carnage that keeps accelerating all across the industry. After facing extensive shortages of key ingredients, packaging, and personnel, the company decided to cut costs to be able to weather the storm that's brewing in the sector. Right now, Starbucks is in the process of closing 500 locations, and your local store may be next on the list. 14. Disney. Disney retail stores, which retail clothing, toys, other merchandise inspired by its famous films, are suffering with the lowest sales in a decade, Yahoo reports. That's why an additional 53 locations are being shuttered this year after 60 closings occurred in 2022. The entertainment giant is cutting 7,000 jobs this year, reducing its workforce by 15%. As its brick-and-mortar operation underperforms, the company is focusing on its online presence to keep selling its products. 15. Art Van Furniture. The Midwest furniture retailer that also operates under brands Art Van Pure Sleep and Scott Subtrine Interiors just went into Chapter 7 bankruptcy and have liquidated all of its assets. 70% of its stores will be closed by the end of the year, while about 300 locations that were sold to a different parent company will reopen as Love's Furniture. 16. Clarks. The shoe retailer recently went through a buyout to improve its financial situation. A Chinese company has purchased the 200-year-old UK footwear brand that operates in the US and Europe. However, the change in command has prompted the company to shutter 25% of its stores in America. Almost 2,000 jobs have been cut so far. Many more may soon be on the chopping block as the company faces a bumpy restructuring. 17. Estee Lauder. The beauty retailer that operates brands like Bobbi Brown, La Mer, Clinique, MAC Cosmetics, Origins, Le Labo Fragrances, Bumble and Bumble, Aveda and more, has seen sales decline by 32% in the last quarter of 2022. Now, Estee Lauder is permanently closing 15% of its retail stores as well as several department store counters to reduce its market exposure. Over 2,000 jobs will be slashed during that process, and the outlook for 2023 remains gloomy. On Wednesday, the company said it expects sales to decline between 12% in the first quarter of 2023 due to falling demand. Revenue could also dip by 15%, which pushed its shares down by 53 cents this week alone. 18. Furniture Factory Outlet. The home goods retailer, primarily based in the central United States, filed for Chapter 11 during the pandemic when it was acquired by American Freight. But things haven't gotten any better for the company. slower discretionary spending and a rising debt load forced Furniture Factory Outlet to close over 40 stores and rebrand more than 30 locations in an attempt to boost sales and stay afloat. 19. Guess. In the past decade, the retail jeans specialist failed to find a path to long-term success in the U.S. In the last quarter, the company reported a net loss of $2.9 million due to supply chain problems, rising transportation costs, and depressed demand even amid the holidays. Right now, Guess is closing 100 locations all over the country, and recent controversies around copyright issues may further damage its sales outlook as famous artists like Banksy protest against the brand on social media and fuel public outrage. 20. H&M. One of the largest clothing retailers in the world is falling apart in plain sight.
Are you trying to say that bed bugs are on special? You get them free on Keg's List? Wow, thank you for the information there, Nubs.
It's the red light special.
The red light bug special?
Mm-hmm.
Bed bug special.
In January 2023, the company said it was still suffering from the losses caused by the pandemic. Right after that, H&M said that it would be permanently closing 320 locations this year, a higher number than it originally planned in November 2022. Over 1,500 roles will be impacted as profits tumble more than expected and costs start to bite, CNBC reports. Brick-and-mortar retail is being threatened by a myriad of problems that continue to pile on. Their greatest challenges as we enter another economic downturn is to prove their relevance in an era of rising e-commerce retailers, as well as how to attract customers back into stores amid a trend of slower spending due to the soaring cost of living. If these retailers do not find ways to increase their revenues, balance their debts, and differentiate themselves from other emerging brands, sooner than people realize, they will be gone for good. What are your experiences? Let us know in the comments, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for watching.
Yes, we all look forward to seeing you next time.
Ooh.
All right, we're gonna mix it way up here. We're on a roll. Whoops, wrong one, damn it. Got another video queued up here. This one's brought to you by Mud Fossil University. The title of the video is Ancient Text Says Earth Will Burn Up, and recent research supports that claim. Might be true.
Okay.
So, in other words, bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Shocker du jour. Do you know that virtually everything there is to do with astrophysics, means space research, depends on space being virtually a complete vacuum? Well, it's obviously not. It is saturated with particles, as we will see. However, they don't acknowledge this. They say outer space is not completely empty. It's near perfect. No, it's not. It's 100% saturated with all of these things they're talking about: plasma, electromagnetic radiation, fields, neutrinos, dust, cosmic rays. Those are all particles. Everything has to push through them, and that slows light down. We got big problems in physics, especially with the Big Bang and all of that stuff. Redshift, not a thing there is correct. Okay, my friends, this is the reason nothing will ever change, is they don't realize that space is saturated with particles. We are scrubbing through those particles, and our outer ionosphere zone is over 2,000 degrees. That's the reason it's so hot.
Hey, I just came up with actually, I guess I can't claim it. Wolf Lady thought of this. If the planet is round And if the top of the planet is getting burned up, all we got to do is head to Australia and we'll be okay.
Down here, it's not because the stuff can't get out, it's because it's scrubbing this zone against space, which is not empty, is saturated with particles. Just take a look at the Webb or Hubble telescope. It's saturated, clouds of them. And they say they're having a hard time seeing through it. Obviously, it's the universe is completely 100% saturated, every single square centimeter, with particles of light and dust and all kinds of things. That is the scrub zone. They will never, ever understand how to combat global warming, or they have no clue right now, totally lost. We're on one of these arms being ripped around a galaxy called the Milky Way, and everything in front of it we have to push through. And that's why as we move around there, it's scrubbing these zones, which are being fed by all of these particles from everywhere, but just everywhere. So this is never going to be, as she said, oh, we just have to pay attention to it. They don't even know what they're looking at. They claim there's no particles in space here. It's 100% saturated. The sun is 10,000 on the surface, 1 million or more out here. How did it get so hot out here? They have no clue and no explanation. Same thing with us, 100 or so on the surface, 1,500, 2,000, somewhere around here out here. There's no explanation whatsoever. None, zero. And they can't explain gravity. They can't explain anything because they don't understand the particles. They don't understand that light it saturates. They do understand it, but they just won't deal with it. Hold on one second.
074 N40 B12.
Look at this. They all know it. Empty space isn't empty. It's not empty. It's saturated with a dizzying display of change. All of these little particles, subatomic particles, that's electrons, neutrons, protons, whatever you want to call them. They're atomic particles. They're not big balls of matter, but there is some of those out there, a lot of them, planets and stars and all that. But everywhere else is these subatomic particles. Empty space isn't empty. We have to scrub through it. Quantum foam is real. The microcosm is in continual motion. They understand it, and that means that the Hubble Space Telescope, the distances, the redshift, the Big Bang, all totally needs to be rethought. See here? They have no explanation for this. The cause of the coronal temperature inversion. That means the corona of the sun, which is the big outside edge, is extremely hot, and the surface is much, much, much cooler. And they say, and they're talking about the solar wind, which is all the particles that we flow through. As I showed you, this is all the particles that are coming off the sun. I mean, look at that. That's all the particles that are just going out into space. We have to scrub through them because the sun is ahead of us, and we're coming behind it and smashing into all its debris. And these are the impact zones here. That's why they're so bright in these 3 spots. The sun is spinning.
I just learned something new. I learned that the sun is actually black and white.
And purple.
And purple. Excuse me.
This way, moving that way. This is the slough side. We're going to go through all this in so much detail, you'll probably not want to go through it. But if you don't go through the details, the big picture is fine. The details are much more important. Okay, my friends, this is really what it's all about. It's called ignition. We can absorb a certain amount of energy, and then at a certain point, just like a piece of paper, it pops into flames. This is what happens with an atomic bomb blast. The first thing that hits this house is the white brilliance of the blast. You're going to see everything in the air combusts. This is in slow motion. See everything? Now the house is just burning because the white particles are burning it up. And I will show you where these white particles come from in our atmosphere. Now watch what happens. Boom. There goes the house because those are the black particles. Now everything turns around and comes back. This is exactly what's going to happen to the Earth.
Implodes and it
All right. If you've been following me, you know that I have found virtually all the things that were written in ancient texts need at minimum to be looked at again. And most of them, or a lot of them, I have confirmed are actually legitimate, insanely crazy, spectacular things, but they have factual, material evidence that supports them. So to me, that's more important than it's crazy. If it's there, it's there, and they're there. Now, I always wondered, how could they tell when these things, these prophecies would occur? Well, there is a certain amount of absorption that the Earth can stand. And we are not only being absorbed by going through the atmosphere, we're expanding that absorption by all the combustion that we have on the Earth, way more than it should be, because we really are using the resources of the Earth in a very poor manner. Now, this is what it says here in the Bible, King James Bible. And I don't, for me, ancient texts are ancient texts. I don't care what you call them. The Quran, the Bible, the Gnostics, they all had their own stories, and they were all similar and all had their own little variations. And that's all it is variations. They go back to the gods and all that stuff. So it's time that we took a whole new look at this in light of the mud fossil evidence. It's just too overwhelming. Listen to this. The day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. That's called ignition. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter. Then it goes. In which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Now, we could combust into something, and that's all it would do. Just like when Venus almost hit Earth, same thing happened. Great noise. They said it was absolutely amazing. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. They said the oceans boiled. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Now, this could relate to that event, possibly, and then it started back over again, or everything's going completely, but it's going to happen again, and in not too long, because we're just abusing the earth.
Is planting new trees miles inland, where they're less likely to become ghost forests.
With the climate literally changing around us, adaptation is the key. So we may not get the forest back exactly the way it was or exactly where it was, but we can keep that resource alive on the landscape.
Its effects reverberate far beyond this forest.
Oh, absolutely. It plays a much larger role in the overall surrounding ecosystems. And I think that's important for people to remember. It's not a hopeless story. These forests can be restored, they can be saved, and you can adapt.
Researchers predict that over the next century, up to 8.
Now, wait a minute. They're saying that the forests are important? When did that happen? I thought we just cut them down and just use them for sawdust.
Yeah. Just go get a house plant.
18,000 square miles of dry land in the U.S., about the size of Maryland and Vermont combined, could be submerged in water. I mean, you talk about saving the forest for the trees, and it's haunting when you see the change that has happened in just one generation.
But there does seem to be some hope there, Nancy, at the end, where he says these forests can be saved. We need to pay attention to that, right?
Yes, exactly. And it's something that people should be aware of that's happening. A lot of folks who don't live near the water don't realize these communities are being lost, but they are trying to grow new forests and also nurture the marshes these forests have become.
As long as we still have solutions, we have hope to restore.
There you go.
Well, that was short and sweet. Anybody going to join us up on panel today? Or is everybody feeling bashful? We got another video. We're jumping all over the place. This video is brought to you by
DirectD.
DirectD. Hang on, I'm getting it up here so everybody can see it. There we go. This video is brought to you by DirectD, and the name of the video is "Cops Get Owned After Getting Trolled Hard. I Don't Answer Questions. Cops Owned." Like, subscribe, and share. This video is used for entertainment, educational, and fair use. Thank you.
See this shit with this light? He's blasting us in the back of the head with the light. I'm gonna do it back to him. Yep, there's another one back there. So they haven't approached the car. They keep getting on their loudspeaker and saying, roll all the windows down. Go fuck yourself. I flashed him with a flashlight and he pulled us over. That's what's going on right now. Hey, numbnuts, call a supervisor.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Yeah, what's going on?
Go ahead and pop.
No, what the fuck are you doing?
Man.
This motherfucker. Don't leave him enough room to reach in. That's what you don't want to do. We got pulled over, folks. Hey, hurry the fuck up! You got trolled with the light again. So we're just sitting here with a cop behind us for no reason. We're in Glendale right now on North 61st Avenue and what is that? Morton? So this guy hasn't approached our car yet. He's just sitting back there with lights on us, chilling. Fuck you! Hurry the fuck up! Glendale police, you guys. Might as well turn it. Car off. See this shit with this light? He's blasting us in the back of the head with the light. I'm gonna do it back to him. I think he likes it. You got another unit? Better hurry up, dude. Yep, there's another one back there. So they haven't approached the car. They keep getting on their loudspeaker and saying, roll all the windows down. Go fuck yourself. Start that timer. He's about to learn something. Cut the car off. Shut the engine and leave the keys. Hey, hurry up! We ain't got all fucking night, punk!
You got insurance and all that?
Yeah, of course.
I know, but you got it, so you show them?
You don't have to show shit. This wasn't a legal detainment. He literally did not pull you over for anything other than a flashlight. I flashed him with a flashlight and he pulled us over. That's what's going on right now. While he's parked in the road without lights on. Hey, you better call a supervisor there. Hey, numbnuts, call a supervisor. Look at this robot just standing there staring. Look at that. Excuse me.
Car locked.
Yeah. Should not be locked up. So yeah, we got that robot standing right there, not doing nothing. They haven't approached the vehicle at all. They just keep shining lights around. See that? Say we're not complying. He said we've been following him. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was illegal. Hit the like button and share this, you guys.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Carvana Focus Group. My name's Christina. I work in the
We'll be back in just a minute, guys. Bear with us.
No. Call your supervisor. We ain't done nothing illegal. Hey, you're live on YouTube.
I just don't understand these people. They need to just comply with what these officers are asking them. They're just only thinking of their safety only, damn it.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Yeah, what's going on?
Go ahead and pop.
No, what the fuck are you doing?
man?
Call your supervisor.
Yeah, I have ID.
Call your supervisor. Where's your fucking supervisor? This is not illegal detainment. You guys fucked up right now. You got trolled and you pulled us over without a legal detainment. We did nothing illegal. Call the supervisor. Huh? Oh, I can't see your stripes.
Yeah, I can't see shit with those lights, man.
This wasn't illegal detainment. This guy got blasted with a flashlight and now he's crying about it. But that's not illegal and that's not a reason to pull us over for. So we can find him? So what? That's not illegal.
Morning, Sly.
Oh, good morning, me man.
That time somebody else got up here with us.
Don't know. Yeah, you gotta make it interesting.
Putting all kinds of stuff up.
Yeah, but you gotta make it interesting. You pull it up, but you gotta make it interesting. You got it. I mean, just pulling it up, people can go to the channel and watch it themselves, right? But just you pulling it up.
Comments all morning.
Me
Huh?
too.
I've been making sarcastic comments all morning.
No, listen to what I'm saying. It's not sarcastic comments. If we're showing the videos, like Erm is saying that they're trolling the police. If you're showing the videos, I'm looking for, you know, people to explain what's going on, right? He's not trolling the police. He's just out in the street doing what the police do to the people. The police follow us around, run our plates, want to search our cars, want to take us out of our cars on a traffic stop, do stuff like that. But we can't follow them around and see what they doing. Does that make sense?
Well, Nubs makes a very good point. Flashlights are scary.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about what Erm was saying.
I know. I just
Yeah, I know you. I know you trying to be funny, Larry, but man, no, you're. You gotta be interesting, Larry. You gotta teach the people. You gotta talk. You gotta stop the video. I thought you said you watched Brian. You stop the video, talk about it, explain what's going on, whatever. You gotta keep the people interested. Like, you know what I mean? Do I gotta hire Moose for you?
Do it.
Do I gotta hire Moose for you?
No, you do it now.
No.
Yeah, you said you know exactly how it needs to be
No,
done.
this is listen, you need some lessons from Jack Talcott, Larry. This is Larry's broadcast. He does it the way he want to do it, right? But if you want people to come like me, you gotta make it interesting, man. You know what I mean?
Erm says his flashlight was extremely bright.
Okay.
And at the cops driving at night, regarded they don't do that to us. Okay.
Yes, they do. I just watched the video this morning. The auditor was recording the police doing a highway robbery, pullover, traffic, whatever you call them, traffic. Not traffic stops. When they pull you over on this in DUI stops or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
The cop, the cop told the man to move back. Now the man was already on the public sidewalk. Cop told the man to move back. He said, "Why? I'm on a public sidewalk. I'm not near you." Cop pulled out his bright ass flashlight and flashed it in the man's camera. That's against the law. You can't do that.
Sure they can.
No, they can't.
He just did it so he can do it. So there.
No, I'm talking about the cop can't do it. The guy.
The cop did it so he can do it because he did it.
Wait, you saying the cop did it?
You said the cop did it.
Right, the cop did it. He's not supposed to do it. Don't teach people the wrong thing, Larry. If you're going to show this, tell the right thing. Don't tell the wrong thing, Larry. If we teaching people, Larry, that's why the purpose of showing these videos. We're not going to tell the people, because if Erm is telling the people that this guy is being a troll to the cops.
And I did.
Erm has got the talking points that he's doing it for clicks and views, not for education purposes. You know what I mean? Like, that's the YouTube talking points. Oh, these guys are just doing it for clicks and views and da-da-da-da-da-da. Nah, they doing it to practice their freedom of press, which is the First Amendment in the Constitution, right? The cops are allowed to do it, so why can't we? We pay them. So why can't we follow them around? What makes them different than us? They follow us around. Ask us dumbass questions. Where you going? When the last time you pissed? When you gonna go take a shit? You know what I mean? Where you work at? Where you live at? Who you live with? What time you going home? Come on, man. So now we ain't supposed to, oh, they doing their job. Fuck them in their job. They not doing their job. They harass people.
Type, damn it. I want to know your blood type too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Your social security number, fucking where your grandmama live. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
I do have to say one thing though. Okay.
What?
The way he goes about this is his own unique way. Okay, the guy that does these videos. But we want to be respected, right? Right? People?
No. By who? Who wants to be respected?
General public, right? You would
No, we
like
talking about the
respectful,
police
right?
we don't have to the police has to respect us because that's their job.
No,
They
I'm
have
saying
to.
in general. Would
No,
you like
As a person, she's
listen,
saying as people, we
as
all want to be.
people, right? But do you see how cops talk to us just in general? Do you
Oh,
see how the cops talk to Eli just in general? Do you see how the cops talk to you when you call them just in general? The cops treat you like shit.
Oh
So
yeah.
what are you saying? The cop, you ask, be polite to a cop, and they give you condescending attitude.
I'm saying some of the shit he says I don't think is necessary, like the guy's wife and yada yada.
So what? It's freedom of speech when it comes to when it comes to cops. Really, they should be able to take it. That's why they do it. That's why they do it, because to show that the cops need to stay professional at all times. No matter what I say, I could tell him to kiss my black behind, right? As long as he stay professional at all times. I have morals. I'm not going to disrespect the cop like that. But still, his job is to remain professional at all times, no matter what I say, right?
Yeah.
And then if I'm polite to him and he gives me his ass to kiss, then I have a right to cuss him out.
Right. I'm not saying, he can't say, excuse me, like, yeah, you guys are being dicks or something like that. But some of the stuff, in my opinion, is too far.
But see, some of that stuff, like I said, that's for you. Then you don't do it, right? But we can't judge other people for practicing their rights or what they do, right? We can't stop other people from doing what they do. So why whine or why cry about it? You know what I mean? We have to allow other people's behavior to be theirs, right? And then when we start getting on the talking points, oh, they just do it for views and clicks and this, that, and the other. It's like, no, that's not fair to say, because you're not them. So you don't see or experience what they're experiencing at that time, right? You don't know their mood. You don't know their behavior. I mean, you don't know anything about them. So when you start hollering, oh, they just do it for clicks and views and attention, and they trolling the police, and no, they flexing their rights. You got to flex them or you'll lose them. And if we keep allowing the police to do what they want to do to us when they want to do it, right, then we letting them take over. We letting them control us. No, they don't control us. We pay them. We make sure their wife is taken care of. We make sure their children are taken care of. We make sure they going to college, all that bullshit. We do that, right? We the people do that. So we could do, just like they follow us around, we could follow them around too, Ern. It ain't called trolling. Or then you should say they troll us. So we troll them, they troll us. How about that?
I don't think it's a matter of trolling. Here's the way I look at it. A police officer gives his oath to the Constitution so that he is secured by the people. In essence, he is giving his good faith to do the job that we, the people, have hired him to do. If he goes outside of that at any point to follow a policy that is not a law, he is in turn committing treason, and the punishment for treason is up to 20 years or even possibly death. Now, the reason that I say these things is not because I just don't think cops are important or anything. Obviously, there's an aspect of law enforcement that is important. However, that is exclusively to law. It does not have anything to do with policy in any way, shape, or form. So in the grand scheme of things, this officer pulling this man over, even though he was being a douchebag, which I will be a first person to admit, he was being a douchebag. He was trolling. He was intentionally doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The grand reality is that officer committed treason.
But Nubs, I got to ask this question. Can I ask this question?
You just did.
they do it to us. What's the difference? Right? They follow
Experience.
us around, they run our plates, then they pull us over, then they ask a
Shy.
bunch of questions. Huh?
Shy, it's about experience. He said earlier he's never had those interactions.
Oh, okay.
So your
So,
interaction
but he's
and
saying,
his and
but he's
what's that?
saying that they're retarded, or following the police around is retarded. So I'm saying police following us around is retarded.
Personally, on certain things, I think it is rather retarded, for lack of better words.
Mhm.
In this particular situation, I agree with what you're saying. They should be at a higher standard. However, if somebody's flashing their flashlight at me, I'm going to look at it saying, hey. However, that hey should only be a hey because there's laws in place that prevent me, if I was in that situation as a law enforcement agent, from doing those things. You know, so I don't agree with what they're doing. I think they are being douchebags, yes. However, they get to be douchebags. The police officers do not get to be douchebags. They do not get to be treasonous pieces of shit. And if they did have a standard of ethics and morals and, you know, uprightness, then there would not be the hatred towards the police, because the police would be law enforcement. They would not deal in policy. However, because they are an agent of the state and the state is a foreign corporation, they really don't even have a fucking clue that they're not even Americans in the first point. However, the FARA documents from 1938 that all of these people should be signing should be pretty fucking clear. FARA stands for Foreign Agent Registration Act. They're all foreigners. They don't know it. We don't know it. So we all just play in this fucking delusion as if, you know, the law doesn't really matter because we have policies to uphold. Well, you don't need to hold up the law. The law stands alone. Policies you need to hold up with law. But if they are not backed by law, they are nothing but paper. They're nothing but Mickey Mouse. They live in the same realm.
But how can a policy be a law, though?
A policy cannot be a law.
Right.
It can only be supported by the law.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I got you.
The law is put there for our protection. Policies are put there also for our protection. However, if you don't want to be protected, you should not have to be protected.
Yeah, but I believe policies are put in place for their protection.
Policies are put into place because the government doesn't have the ability to make new laws.
Okay.
Their policies, their code, their things to enforce, but they are not law, because law clearly deals in the avenues of loss, injury, and harm.
Right.
The law is there to prevent loss, injury, and harm.
Right. Exactly.
You know, so when this officer in this particular case, and this is all my opinion, it's not, you know, I've done a lot of research, it's my opinion, and I don't stand that it is factual, because I'm not the smartest person in the fucking world, but I do understand the difference between a policy and a law. They're very clear. If they were the same thing, they would be called the same thing. We don't call an orange an apple because they're both fruit. We call an orange and an apple because they grow off of different trees. And they are different things.
Exactly.
You know, so when you're talking policy, you're talking oranges. When you're talking law, you're talking apples, or whatever the fuck analogy you want to talk about.
Right. And then you know what too, and I want to let know, I don't really I kind of feel the same way you feel sometimes when I see some of them just, you know, act a fool for no reason. You know what I mean? So I don't support them. I don't follow a lot of them. So I understand where you're coming from, but you know, where I'm coming from is, you know, sometimes they deserve it. I mean, sometimes they deserve being harassed like they harass the people that pay them.
Well, I would say that would be an aspect of how karma works. You know, karma works in mysterious ways, and we're all put, you know, like for instance, you know, certain situations that I've been in recent days. I've been put in the back room because people don't want to hear what they need to hear, because they're not willing to accept it. And that's fine. That's a wonderful place to be in non-acceptance, because that means that you have the ability to grow. You know, because
I'm sorry, I gotta say this. You smell like the basement. You smell like a piece of shit, Nubs.
hey, just because I smell like cheese, the only reason I
That's
smell
what
like
you
cheese is
said,
because I
too.
spent too much back time, I spent too much time in the back room, and it was not cheese. It just smelled like cheese, but it was from under.
That fermented cheese.
From under there.
Oh my goodness. Yo, sometimes they deserve it, but it's on a true that. It is on a case-to-case basis, right? But sometimes you just like, all right, look at the way Paul does, right? Paul will push a button. Paul will, hype you up, trigger you, Cops do that too. Cops trigger you to say, "Oh, you're resisting arrest. Stop resisting. Stop resisting." And then they charge you with obstructing, being obstruction, whatever the word is.
Well,
I've
the
been
thing about
smoking.
it is everybody says, "Oh, well, you triggered me."
Right.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I have the ability to trigger you, it is merely an ability. It is not a power. The power comes from you.
But they
So
make it now, Nubs. You know that the cops they get butthurt about every little thing.
Sure. That doesn't mean, well, the thing about it is let me put it this way. If I've got 500 men around me and every single one of them decides that, you know what, this shit's too hard, and they decide to sit down, does that mean that I have to sit down because they sat down? Do I have to drop my standard of excellency to go to somebody else to meet them at where they're at? No.
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When
Different
somebody
strokes for
triggers
different.
you,
Yeah, different strokes for different folks, though. I understand where you're coming from.
It's
well, if you
streaks for
get triggered, it's because it's an internal thing.
Right.
It has nothing to do with me. Just like when I walk up and say and put things like bad dad on my channel, but I'm trolling them. No, I'm speaking about me.
Right. Well,
only because.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Only because somebody wants to be triggered and they recognize that behavior within themselves, are they triggered? That's why police officers get so fucking triggered, because they recognize what they are being looked at as, and they identify as it. They identify as that treasonous piece of shit. They know the consequence. So they're going to fight every fucking step. Every step they can, tooth and nail. And you think about it, we all do it. They're no different than us.
Right. That's my point exactly. They're no different than us, right? And we deserve the same amount of respect as they do. If I come to you and I like, all right, one prime example, I had to call and make a police report. The police officer came, he was so negative and so condescending, he almost made me cry and feel bad that I called and asked him to help me.
And the thing about it is there's no good goddamn reason to make a victim feel like more of a victim unless you yourself are victimized. Or feel that way. So that
he was
officer,
mad that he had to come. He was mad that he had to come and take my damn report. What the fuck?
Right. Because he didn't. And don't get me wrong. I don't know specifically, But in general, he thought one thing and something else happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he thought that he was going to collect a paycheck without going to work. Well, you were a prime reason that he had to show the fuck up.
And then that's what he asked me too, Nubs. He said, I said, well, like, you know, I was told to call and get a police report for this crime. He said, well, what do you want me to do? And that's
Your
when the
fucking
tears,
job.
yeah, and that's when the tears almost came to my eyes. Was like, really? Are you really asking me this? Like, I called for service. You're supposed to do your job. Like, are you really asking me, what do I want you to do? Like, you're here to take the fucking report, yo. But, you know, that's just me. I mean, you know, I didn't cuss them out. But I stand up to the police, though. I don't let them, they have no dominion over me unless I break the law.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Don't listen to him. He's a piece of
80s.
shit, Anna. Don't listen to him.
I find value in Nubs. Sorry.
We all
That's
do,
my
right?
opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
We all do, Anna, but he's still a piece of shit. Let Jack Talcott tell it.
Yeah. Don't say his name 3 times, please.
Jack.
He ain't gonna show up. He ain't gonna show up here. He don't like me and Nubs.
No, he ain't gonna show up here because he doesn't have the iron fist to shut me up.
I heard you say that last night, yo.
The audience.
I heard you say that last night, Nubs.
Off right now, so he'd have to feel his way around. Anyway, back in the 80s, I can remember commercials saying that, you know, women, they were targeting women, you know what I mean? They were saying that if you ever get kidnapped or whatever, keep a little flashlight with you, and you can flash it, you know, at cops or signal for help, you know, if your car broke down or whatever. And that's
why they pulled him over. Don't you know?
Yeah, to let the cop know I needed help. And so he was doing that to the cop. Maybe the cop initially thought, you know, and then realized,
No, because if you think about it, if that was true, he would have came up to the car and say, "Dude, are you okay? Do you need assistance?" No, they sat in the fucking car and said, "Roll your fucking windows down and put your fucking hands out of the windows."
Oh,
But I
yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted to say I remember that in the 80s because my dad said, "Hey, do you have a flashlight?"
And then they went to whistle. Then they went to the whistle.
Yep, to the whistle. And then, so, you know.
So listen, so I understand what you're saying, right, Anna? But they also told you in the when you go take the driver's test and get your license, they say when you get pulled over by the cops, get your paperwork out, turn your car off, put your hands up on the seat, on whatever. They tell you to do all of this movement, right? And then the cops come up with their gun and say, "Hey, well, you was moving around. We ain't know what you was doing."
That's the thing, Shy. If you've never been drawn down on, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah, they came in the house. I was 16 and my godbrother was 13.
You know what it's like to be drawn down on by somebody that you don't fucking trust. The thing about it is when you're in the hood and you get robbed, let's say you get robbed at gunpoint, they ain't trying to kill you. They want your fucking money. The gun is there to make sure they get the money. Now, a police officer, on the other hand, they get money either
gun
way.
is there to make sure they get the money. You said it fucking right. The police officers too. Their gun is there to make sure they get the money.
But they get it either way, whether they shoot you or not.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You said the fucking right thing, though. The gun is there to get your money.
Absolutely. We all know how this shit works.
Yes, Nubs. Damn.
And if it doesn't work the first time with the gun, they get you with the gavel. So either way,
Well,
your money is theirs.
right. Well,
But it's not
the
money.
highway robbery is with the gun, and then the gavel is the foot down.
But the thing is think about it.
Mm.
There is no money. So when they come to rob you, they're robbing you of nothing that it actually exists.
All right, man, come on, go ahead and explain it. Why are you waiting for me to cuss? Look, you waiting for me to put Larry,
Well,
put his ass in the
what
basement.
money is there? What money is there but debt? Pull out a
I know.
$5 bill. Pull out a $1 bill. Tell me it
Mhm.
doesn't say the word debt on it.
Mm-hmm.
It is as described. It is debt.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody stealing money from you is stealing debt.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're a government agency and they're stealing debt, well, what debt do we have to give them? What money is there to give you?
Mm-hmm.
There's none.
So we just stealing from each other.
Of course we are. Of course we are. We're all thieves. We're all part of it. Because there is no other money. There is not another option.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just run around. I can't just flip you a $5 piece of gold and you recognize the ability, because all's money is just a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Much like silver, gold, copper, palladium, platinum, iridium, radium, they're all commodities.
Did you see the heist, Nubs?
The what?
Breaking news. They heist the gold off the airplane or somewhere. You ain't hear
Of course,
about it.
they always do. They
I
always
know.
do, because
They
that
said it
is
was
the
an
thing that has
inside
value.
job. They said it was an inside job, Nubs.
Just like the fucking just
I
like the
did it.
Russian
Come
shit.
on now.
Of course
You
it
talking
was
about
an
them
inside job. How the fuck else can you get onto a plane that's in the air?
You talking about them diamonds?
Just period.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember the diamond heist too.
Just said about the diamond heist.
Yeah. I remember the diamond heist. Yeah, it was. I believe all that stuff is. That's what I said too, I said it. Yo, come on, man. Who knew with that they were carrying these diamonds or this gold, right? Who knew?
Yep.
Just don't look in my basement because you won't find the gold there.
Is that what you and Anna been up to?
The basement that doesn't exist.
You're supposed to say I don't answer questions.
Ah, shit.
You're telling all your secrets.
My son just
he
put this.
said
I
not
didn't hide
diamonds.
nothing.
He said not diamonds, dimes. I don't
I
remember
saw
them
that. I'm
stealing
like,
the dimes.
what?
Hey, back in the day, mercury dimes, weren't they made out of silver? That would make sense to have a dime heist if they're made of silver, because that's actual money.
Mm.
Hey, Nubs, what you wrote me in text this morning, is that supposed to be a private thing, or can I ask
No.
you?
I'm looking for some headlights, and I need you to wire them.
Right, but
I'll get
how
the
am I gonna
material.
do
I'll
that?
get everything set up, and I'll ship it over to you. You can wire everything up as it needs to be. I'll let you know the truck and everything, so you have all the schematics and whatnot.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
But so
What kind of
basically, I'm
lights
going to
are you-
send
are you
you.
wanting to put in LEDs?
Yeah, basically, I'm going to take my headlights out of my truck. Well, I have an extra set. But I'm going to pull those out, and I'm looking to have an 8-part LED ran in there with some other lights for turn signals and stuff. But basically, I want double whatever is required. So like there's the 4-way projector lights where it has 4 individual lights, and on low beam 3 of them are on, and 4 beam or high beam all 4 of them are on. I want 6 and 2, or excuse me, 6 and 2, giving me a total of 8.
A lot of that.
I'll send you some videos.
Yeah, a lot of that's going to depend on the light and how it's set up. Also, you need to make sure on some of your lights they come.
I don't
with
need to
a-
do shit. I need to send it all to you, and you need to make sure all this stuff is done. That's what I'm going to pay you for.
What I'm saying, when you buy the lights, you got to make sure it has.
I'm
the
not buying
built-in-
shit. You're buying the light and wiring it up for me.
Oh, okay. I see how you are. Yeah, I've learned. I did the LED thing in the past, and some of the LED lights have a built-in resistor to make it work like on your older vehicles, and some of them don't.
Right, and that's where you come in. So
Right.
basically, when I do everything, I'm going to get online with you. You know, I'll be on my end, and I'll order everything. I'll put it all together how I want it to be, and it'll be a bunch of loose tail wires.
Right.
You'll know what everything is, and then I need you to figure out the programming on the backside so it works in conjunction with my 2003.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I'll do. You'll have to send me, you know, like you said, the year of your car and stuff, and I'll do some research and
Right.
figure out what I can figure out from there.
It's
Larry?
an 03 Dodge Ram 2500. I'll
I
just
ain't
text
gonna
you.
remember that
nice.
shit.
Nice.
You gotta
Larry, I
write-
gotta mess with you, man. I gotta mess with you.
Go ahead.
Now you know he ain't gonna just send you the shit and ain't gonna tell you exactly what he need. I gotta mess with you, man. You
All
like,
I'm
look,
going to do is buy the lights that I want, put it all together, and then I'm going to give it to Larry, and that'll be Larry's problem.
right. And Larry, you just gotta do your thing.
She likes it when I do my thing.
Oh, hells yeah.
Wait a minute, that is TMI on a Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nope, it's still early over here, so, you know, not during
It's-
church hours.
It's still Sunday morning. What are you talking about?
Church ain't open yet.
That ain't got shit to do with it still being Sunday morning. What do church got to do with it being Sunday?
Well, I try and behave a little bit on Sunday. A little
No,
bit.
you don't. You just outright said,
I
oh,
said a
yeah.
little bit.
Talking about you behave. You just outright said, oh, yeah. Sock it to me now. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I add that?
Yeah, you added that, but that was pretty much, you know. Yeah, you know.
I love you guys, man. I do
That
miss
was the
y'all.
implied part.
What?
No.
The, oh, yeah, sock it to me
I
now.
know, right?
The sock it to me part was the implied.
Yes. That was Larry. That was Larry's part. Sock it to me now.
Oh, yeah.
Look, she's still doing it. Church ain't open yet.
That's right.
That was a laughing saying, sock it to me.
I know.
Larry's been calling her church for years. He's been going to church all the time.
We had services last night a day early.
Say it
He's
again.
baptized.
On God, quite
I was
often.
getting ready to say that. Nubs. Wait, Nubs. Nubs.
I
I
know.
was getting ready to say that,
See, it's funny because we will answer questions. We ain't got a problem with it.
Yeah, but everybody don't need to know y'all personal business in these YouTube streets. At least me, anyway. I don't need to.
Hey, you're on Dirty Larry's channel. Okay.
I be on Dirty Talcot's channel too.
You know, that's something you never hear him talk about.
What?
I'm just saying.
You never hear him talk about what?
Anything to do with the opposite sex.
I'm sorry. I'm going to behave. I'm going to behave.
Come on now.
Yo, you don't hear? You don't
You
hear?
just know
how-
I'm fishing.
Wait, okay, because you want me to get it. You want me to say it. I'm gonna say it. You don't know how he. You don't see how he reacts to Daddy.
Oh, you're calling him Daddy?
I could call him daddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he ain't my daddy. I could call him daddy though. But Nubs, he did it last night. He said, put everybody out, block the chat, and just leave me and Paul.
Damn. Okay.
I'm just saying, I done caught that man like a few different occasions. As soon as he see Paul or start talking to Paul, he just start. It seems like he be clutching his pearls. I don't know. I'm just saying, allegedly.
All I know is that that fireplace of his keeps on getting a little bit more tilted.
I don't know, but
he can't afford. He's trying to build up his YouTube. I mean, his StreamYard account, right? So then he's going to get that real. That one that Peniel Power uses. The one they use for the StreamYard, right? So Jack he's building up to get a new one. I mean, one of the real ones. So right now he has the cardboard fireplace behind him.
That's quality. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you ever see him drift off into his imagination?
All the time.
Oh yeah, he'll go.
Yo, he be cracking me up, and then he'll come back as another person.
Did you see the other day when I was like, finally, buddy, you made some improvement?
Yeah.
That's where he went.
Then he cussed you out.
He went there.
He said, I'm tired of you and your disrespect.
I got a question.
Yes.
What happened to Harlow, man?
I don't know. I hope ain't nobody kidnapped
He's off
Harlow.
on a boat. He went back to the Navy.
I was thinking the same thing now.
He sailed off the edge.
He said he was retired, and I'm like, you don't retire after 12 years.
Wait, you can. Well, I don't know what it could. It could be a mental thing. But I was thinking the same thing, Nubs. I said maybe he really went into the Marines now.
In the Army.
Marines. I don't know if he would pass any psych eval, but
no, I hope West Coast Cheese is doing okay. Haven't seen him in a long time.
Is there any actual evidence? Did he pull out a DD-214 to say that he was, in fact, in the military? Or is that all speculation? I'm just saying.
No,
wait,
I
you're
don't
saying
know.
so you're saying wait, hold up, Nubs. Let me see.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm letting you fish.
Allegedly,
you're out there catching the whales.
Let me see if I can get on the same page. So Nubs, you're saying Harlow replaced us with DD-214 to give Daddy something else to
No,
give Daddy
you know what a
more
DD-214
content?
is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He sent to the so Harlow sent
not the guy online, DD-214. I'm talking about the form. A DD-214 is I think it's from the Army, though. I don't know if it's all branches, but basically it's their de-enlistment papers.
Okay.
They're walking papers.
Yeah, it's their ability to leave the military.
Okay, maybe DD. Well, I'm sorry.
He used to be in the military, and that's the proof that you were in the militry for the whole stolen valor.
I don't think he's ever showed. He's never showed his papers, Nubs. Wizard always asked for him, but he never showed his papers.
Well, because it shows a lot of information. I mean, I can kind of understand where he's coming from, but if you're gonna throw something out there, if I'm gonna say I'm the king of fucking Uzbekistan, I better have fucking Uzbekistanis behind me.
Wait, all right, hold up. So he did show us some papers one time, and it was a lot of stuff redacted, right? But his name wasn't on it.
It's his dad,
Or it looked like it was white out. it was all redacted, and then he put his name on top.
I see.
Right.
The stuff I seen was his grandpa's, and he tried putting his name there.
That's what I remember. Yeah, that's it, Larry. That's it. It was
Well,
redacted
and that's what I'm
everything.
saying. That's really what I'm saying. You know, like we look at people, like for instance, Shy.
Yes.
Do you really live in the hood? Like, is there really evidence of these things? Yeah, do you get what? Like, I believe that you do. But I'm
Right.
saying, like, if you don't bring evidence, like your evidence is the way you speak,
Okay.
what you say.
Wait, hold. What you trying to say? I got that
I'm
hood
saying
voice.
I recognize what I grew up with.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because the way that you speak and the way that my neighbors spoke is similar and or same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I can recognize where you're from based
Okay.
off of what you're saying. I can see that there is proof.
Mm-hmm.
You know, much like a good relationship with my son is proof that I am a quality father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that my son does not go out and lie, cheat, and steal, cause loss, injury, or harm is a testament to my abilities to conduct myself to teach him. So it's
Mhm.
about what we can prove. It's about what we do, not what we say. That's why these internet streets, they're so scary, because anybody can say anything and they do.
Well,
And then
I
it's,
was
well, show me the
Not
proof.
me.
Everybody's about proof,
15
right?
years.
Not me.
Everybody's like, hey, show me the proof. Well, there's a
know.
reason, because
Hold
all
on.
we have on these streets is words. I don't
Yeah.
know you personally. I've never been to Philly to come meet you. We've never broke
True.
bread.
Yeah.
You know,
You
so we
welcome.
can say
You
we're
welcome
friends,
anytime, Nubs. We could
and
break
same
bread, have
goes.
some coffee. Yeah, I
Right,
mean, we could do all that shit, Nubs. You welcome anytime.
right.
Well,
And that's
I was
what I'm saying,
married
because then that would be
military,
in the
guys.
real as opposed to the real fake.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
I
just hope
was
everybody
married to
know that I'm
military
not fake at all. I just want.
years.
I ain't fake.
I know some ins and outs, okay?
Yeah, we know you do. When I tell you
It,
about your personal business, why you got to be talking about your innies and outies and stuff, yo?
I'm gonna say something about those innies and outies too.
No. It's Sunday. Didn't she just say she waiting for church to open?
and no,
I'm
still
waiting.
got an
That
hour and a half
obviously
before
it's
other
dry.
people go. And then I can still act that way because they're going to be busy in church.
I'm leaving, y'all. I'm only going to be here 5 more minutes. Where is my
You
nail?
and this concept
If
of
I walk
church,
into a
I want
church,
proof that
I
that's a
do behave,
building that you
okay?
go to.
I try
They,
and be.
a Nubs, they closing the churches down because everybody becoming Muslim now, right? So in Philly, they closing the churches down. They starting to become apartment buildings, yo.
Wow.
Yo.
Well, that way you
I
can
ain't
live with
lying.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No,
Let's hope there's no Crip
Talcott lives with
scandal.
Jesus. Nubs, Talcott lives with Jesus. Stop playing with me. I can't live with Jesus and Talcott. No.
So,
Get a little
wait
too
a second.
crowded.
Does that mean that Jesus moves the fireplace?
Probably. I haven't
You
seen
guys,
Mike.
this is a little bit off. See, right here.
I haven't seen Mike. Have you seen Jesus?
So
I haven't
is
seen
the
him.
fireplace literally offset?
Like 33
Sometime it
degrees.
is.
By
Sometime it
33?
is.
It's like 33 degrees exactly.
Are you
Let
talking
me
There are
about
find out.
unconfirmed
or the
reports.
fireplace?
There
Let me
are
find
unconfirmed
out.
reports that it is an attempt to be much like Prometheus bringing fire to the world, but it's just a little off.
It's his chair,
A little?
Nubs. It's his
No,
chair. You know he wearing it down. He been sitting in that bitch for 7 months now.
it's not. It's
Wait,
not the
who was
chair.
the guy that fell out of his chair
That
drunk
was
as
Jack
fuck?
off Jack.
That was Jack
No,
off
that
Jack?
was not. Excuse me. Nope. You're
Who
wrong.
was that?
Jack
That was
fell
There's
off
been
his.
a couple.
Jack fell on his boat. Billy The kid Norwood
Yeah.
fell out the chair on his head.
That was in the chair and just went.
Yeah, and I was on his panel, and I was on his
when
and I was on his
Jack
panel.
fell on his boat.
Yeah, you hear me, Anna?
What?
He fell out his chair, and I was on his panel with another young lady.
I watched it. I about died. I thought, oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was on his panel. I had told him that he needed to clean up some of them beer cans because he had been drinking for 2 days. So I told him, I said, Billy, you need to clean up. And he didn't realize that he had got naked, and he got up and he fell, and his ass and his nuts was exposed to the world. and then Justice made the video, and the video went viral.
I don't recall that part. Damn.
That was a different one.
Oh, well, you didn't see. No, that was the one he made. That's the one Justice made. Like,
I don't recall no balls
they made the
flying in
clips.
the air.
Huh?
I don't recall no balls flying in the air.
I didn't say they flew in the air. What are you talking about? See, you and Larry, y'all gonna have to get your little situations in order, okay? I did not say anything about nuts flying in the air. That's you and Larry stuff. Okay?
You said that he fell and things, you know.
I said he fell and his ass and his nuts was out everywhere.
Right.
So they were flying.
So this was my
No, they wasn't flying. He fell. How was his nuts flying if he fell?
Because he's falling, so the nuts go up,
They
and then they fall down.
Oh, see, that's too much. That's too much for me, y'all.
I was just,
Just-
reiterating what I was thinking.
yeah. Well, you watched the video. The fuck?
We haven't seen that one. We only seen the one with Jack Off Jack on the boat.
Well, she must have seen it. She just said, I seen a guy fall out his chair.
She was talking about Jack Off Jack on the boat.
She said, I seen a guy fall out a chair with his ass out.
No.
No,
That's
I
not what
seen
she
the other
said?
one.
No.
No.
Oh, I apologize then. I gave you too much information then.
Now
But
I
it
gotta go
did
try and
happen
find
though.
it.
Look, it did happen though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You told us about it a couple times. We just never seen that video.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't remember what was Justice's name? Because I don't even know if they still around. Oh, Nubs. Nubs. Guess who showed up on Paul's broadcast?
Not me.
You listening? Can you hear me?
You're muted, Nub.
You're muted, Nubs.
Some might say that's a good thing.
What, that you're muted?
Yeah.
Are you short too? That caught you off guard, didn't it? Oh snap, my mind. This morning I've been up since 4:30 a.m. I hung out with Karen and them this morning, Larry. They ended early today though. But Nubs, go ahead, Nubs. What you was gonna say?
Nothing. You were saying, guess who showed up?
Oh, you remember Authority Check?
Yeah.
That idiot
AC?
showed up on the broadcast
I saw that.
with the same storyline from 2 years ago, yo.
I saw
was
that.
like,
No, it was not the same storyline. There was just a little bit more to AC than the last time I saw him.
Yeah, it was okay. So the whoever was
Sly.
I still think it was all planned. I think it
Sly,
was still all planned.
I'm not talking about his story. I'm saying there was a little bit more to AC than the last time I saw him.
Oh, trust me, I already know.
More.
Trust me, I already know. I'm just trying to be
like
light.
I didn't even recognize him.
I'm just
if it
trying to
weren't
be
for his
lightweight
voice and his
now.
face, I would
Yeah.
not have recognized AC.
I believe they were going to pawn bomb him.
Who?
I really do.
Paul?
I believe they were going to pawn bomb him. Yes.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I believe
I've
they
seen him
would.
shut down a
I
couple
think
of
that. Go ahead.
I was on a stream once where the guy was talking and AC pops up. We started talking. We were laughing and joking. I've never had a problem with him ever. I mean, what he does is on him.
Right.
And he popped up and we started talking and the dude was like, "Oh, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. You're a dirty blah, blah, blah," and got racial on AC. AC's like, "Oh, really?" Boop, boop. All of a sudden, no more channel. Like, it was literally like a flip of the switch, as if he had like, "Hey, get a hold of this guy's channel," to calling YouTube sex. You know, like, it was funny. But nevertheless,
man.
that's it. That has definitely been his MO. He has definitely gotten good at it.
Trust me, I already know, man. Yo, you know me. I be on it. And then as soon as I believe, soon as he saw me, because I put it in all caps, I know who you are, right? As soon as I think he saw that in the chat, and he his ass quiet up real quick and got the fuck up out of there.
Well, it wasn't only you. I don't know if you saw me in that chat briefly. I was like, "Oh, what's up, AC?"
I ain't even speak to his ass. I ain't even speak to him.
Okay, hold on. When was this broadcast?
Like 2 or 3 days ago.
2 days, yeah, 2 days ago.
On Paul's?
Yes.
All right, we gotta check this shit out.
Yeah, well, y'all no, not right now, because it's probably
No,
like
no.
Oh,
No.
okay. But yeah, so Nubs, and I was like, because I had just got in, I was chilling and I was watching, right? Then I heard the story, and I'm like, well, who the fuck is this, right? Then when he said, when he said that name, when he said his friend and trolling him or whatever, and when he came up, I was like, oh hell no, this is a fucking setup. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, nah.
There are very much so unconfirmed reports that it may have been a hit.
I believe
botched
allegedly, okay? I'm going to say it. Allegedly, I think that was about to be a hit. Really.
Well, when you speak things like he does, and I'm not saying all of what he does, I'm not drinking fucking Kool-Aid in the back room. But when you speak like he does and you walk like he does, people always take shots at lions.
Mm-hmm.
It's whether you can take that lion out. That's the question of the hunter.
And they've been taking people out. You hear me?
They've taken some big fucking lions out.
Yeah, yes. Listen, one time I was on a John and Nubs, it sent me through a loop because I was right where you were, right? No. I was on top of you, and what came up on the screen, I was like, what the? And we all had to just end the stream. He had to end the stream. Yep. We all just bailed out, right?
Done.
Yeah, because that John, it was like you said, we was all up there having fun, talking, and then all of a sudden and they came up in one of the people's names that we knew. So that's why
it always is.
Yeah, it came up in one of the people's names we knew. And you hear how the boy said Hard Hat, and Hard Hat was like, well, where did you get my name from? He was like, I had to use somebody's name in the chat. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had to warn my boy, like, yo, be careful with that one. So does that make me a bad person that I know a lot about some of these people in these YouTube streets and that I might have to warn people? Does that make me bad?
Well, honestly, I've warned people and everything like that, and the thing I've learned on these YouTube streets is I'm not going to be any like, don't get me wrong, there's always that aspect of irresponsibility when you're on the streets.
Right.
However, I can't do it. Like, I just, so if I warn somebody and they don't listen, I'm not warning anybody. Like, and then, you know, I mean, I'll poke a joke every once in a while at the expense of somebody else. It's jokes.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
You know,
not disrespect,
you won't,
right? It's not disrespect, is it? Could you please clarify that when we busting jokes, it's not meant to be
disrespectful the way that it depending on the intent. If I bust a joke on Shy, and I smile afterwards, and you start laughing, you and I have built up that rapport.
Right? Exactly.
Jack and I, we really haven't built that rapport.
He doesn't want to build that rapport with you because you are a real man. I mean, a true man. You stand on rights and freedom, and you take care of.
And I don't have a back to piggyback off like Paul does. He said it very clearly when he said, "What do you have to offer me?" He was very accurate with, like, he's not a dumb man. Not by any means. And I honestly, I have a lot of respect for Jack in certain avenues.
But he's still spending money though to buy things instead of doing the work on his own.
And that's, I have actually, I wouldn't even say it's respect. I have admiration.
Okay, and you
in certain aspects.
Okay, I got you.
Very specific, much like a neurosurgeon for the left ventricle, specifically.
What was that black guy name?
Right.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that guy, right? Go ahead.
Can't lean on you.
No.
Oh, you was finished, Nubs? Okay. Oh, I was waiting for you to give me more. More.
The more would be, I can appreciate his ability to have tenacity.
Right.
Like, if you're setting your goals to go talk to the UN, that's a goal. Like, that's admirable.
He said he wasn't doing that no more. He said,
what are you going to do in between today's goal and tomorrow's result?
Put y'all in the basement.
Piece of shit.
And he got Moose to pull the trigger.
Oh, Moose is doing a job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure.
That's what Moose is doing. He's doing a job.
Yeah, for sure. And he's doing a great job of
Moose, and I can't hate on Moose.
No. He's doing a great job. And listen, if it's a job well working, work it. That's how I feel. I'm going to hire Moose for me. See if he can get me 1,000. I told him this morning, I said, I'm like Donald Trump. Could you just get me about 846 subscribers, buddy? That's all I need.
Well, here's the thing. When you get hired in for a job and you do the job well, people tend to look for you. That's business 101.
Shit, we gonna make rich.
Moose gonna
be rich, bitch.
It's not even necessarily financially though, because let's be honest, in today's society, finances are the least concern of anybody that's truly rich.
Right, exactly.
It's who you fucking know.
Right. It helps build character for one.
It builds content. And what is content but the building of a character? Absolutely.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. It's a character. It's a fucking character.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying. Yep.
If you believe that Moose's mama and daddy named him Moose, then you're a damn fool.
Exactly.
What? Wait a minute. Wait. His name isn't really Moose?
Nope. True story. I heard the story once. And if you pay attention, you might know the story, because it's always a story. There's always a story, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well,
you just gotta follow the narrative.
Somebody told me I was fake because I'm using my Slideshot 58. So they said I'm fake. I'm not real.
Well, that's a persona that you have put on. So yes, they are very accurate in their assessment.
No, I'm not fake. Look at me.
I'm not saying
fake.
you, but the
I know.
character of Shy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not shy.
You don't put your real name
What I
up there,
say
so you're still an
I
alternate
am is
persona.
much
Oh,
like
God.
much like the spirit in man.
I got my water bottle. Go ahead.
You know, the
Just quit
spirit of
moving.
man. I'm getting ready for work. The spirit of man resides in man, but is not man. Same thing. Nubs resides in me, but is not me. The things I say, the things I do are not inconsistent. They are consistent with both, but that is not necessarily true with everybody. Some people put on what's called a persona. It's a person. They put on a person, like much like Paul when he does the bit of the guru. Is the one that comes to mind first and foremost. Is Paul a guru? Let's ask him. He'll tell you no.
Right.
And
He's
if
not
I'm
a
going to
damn
listen to
sound
anybody, I'm going to
citizen
listen
either.
to the fucking person that's speaking.
That's an
Wait.
oxymoron.
What's that?
Wait,
Ow.
wait, y'all. Let me have my bit, please. Hey, you ain't let me finish the bit.
It's all a bit.
It's all a bit. But no, go ahead, no.
What I'm saying, like, and the people that are real, their actions. It won't tell you.
Yeah, and you're not working out, man. I got my water bottle. Go ahead.
Any fucking guru will tell you, no, I am not.
Hold your phone up like this, Nubs. Use your phone as an antenna. Do it like this, Nubs. Hold it up. Hold it up as high as you can get it. Oh, snap.
Any real guru.
Nope, not working out for you, buddy. You're too far away from
Can you
the
hear
modem.
me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
No modem. Can you hear me now?
Well, whoever's Wi-Fi you stealing right now, it ain't working.
Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Back
Try it
room.
again. Try it again, buddy.
Nubs, do I need to get you a tinfoil hat?
To help you tune in to Tokyo.
Shit, Eric get better service than you, Nubs. He's in China. There you go.
Does it
You
work?
remember how we used to? Yeah, you remember how we used to do with the TV? Stand right there. Hold it right there.
Bend
Can you
that
hear me?
tinfoil a little to the
Yeah.
left.
You can
Yeah, we
actually
can-
hear me? I'm literally holding a fucking piece of aluminum up in the air.
5
Yeah,
by
I
5.
can hear you.
That's fucking
My
hilarious.
parents went and visited my dad's family in Mississippi, and they had a full metal roof, and my mom used to have to go like 10 to 15 feet away from the house to get a good signal.
Oh, because y'all had a metal roof.
So what I was
yeah.
saying is if you ask any guru, any real guru, if they are a guru, they'll tell you fuck no. They won't tell you I'm gonna go fucking do this and I'm gonna go do that because they've already done it or they're in the process of doing it. There's not a. It doesn't work like that. People don't follow you because of what you say. And that's why people are lost on the internet, is because that's all we've got is what we say. People follow people because of what they do. And once
Yeah,
that
because
comes lacking,
that's why I show up in Jack's. That's why I show up in Jack's
it's
chat.
because of what he does. He is
Yes.
known for what he does.
Yes, that is so true, and that's why I show up at Paul's because of what he does.
Because he's known for what he does.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes, yes.
And the
That's
second
true.
you get that twisted, you lost.
Exactly. Like that
You know,
damn,
and when you
like
don't
that
have
damn
the
Smith
wisdom,
character. That damn Smith character is lost, yo.
when you 6079,
Yeah, man.
he's super smart.
Yeah, he's
Just ask
super
him.
smart, but super dumb as well,
No,
though.
just
'cause-
ask him. He's super smart.
Okay,
Anytime
yeah.
you can ask somebody and they tell you how smart they are,
Right. He's super smart.
he's super smart. Just ask him.
But he still don't get it.
Hey, I'm smart too. I'm a smart ass. So there, haha.
I'm super
Well,
smart
those
too.
smart ass normally have soft heads.
Hey, Anna, could you show us?
It's soft.
Show us, Anna. Show us how soft this head is. Show us how soft this head is.
Well, it's because grandma just done fucking slapped you upside your head.
I was trying to get her to show us. She won't even do it now.
Show what?
Oh my God,
The
Larry!
smack upside the back of the head?
I said, show us how hard his head is, or it's how soft his head is. So you were supposed to give him a slap on the back of his head to show us that your hand bounced off of it. So that means his head is hard.
I
With
just
a little
knocked
bump.
on it and it echoed.
It echoed.
That's pretty. It did. It's kind of.
Hello, 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 hello.
Three screws that are loose. You can hear them rattling around.
Hang on one second.
Your what is they with them lug nuts? Your lug nuts loose, Larry? Your love nuts are loose.
Oh, his
Oh,
love
shit,
nuts
my
are
eggs,
right where they belong.
Oh no, my eggs. Oh man. Messing around with y'all, I almost blew up the eggs again.
You've been on here a while and you were cooking eggs?
I was
Sly,
boiling them.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. You didn't learn last time you did that, and you just did it again?
Well, they didn't blow up this time, Larry. Larry, they didn't blow up this time. Shh, shh. They didn't blow up this time, Larry.
They didn't blow up this time?
No, I caught them just before. I
I'll
caught
give you a
them.
reprieve then.
Look, I caught them just before they said, "Oops."
Move.
Listen.
Well, I'll give you a reprieve then.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. But listen, I gotta go now, and I gotta go eat my sandwich and get myself together to get up out of here.
Don't let that door hit you in the ass.
I won't. I'll be a while.
Have a marvelous, wonderful day.
Thank you for coming. I love seeing you. You
Thank
always
you.
put a smile on my face. Hey, wait a minute.
I'm glad. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Anna. I got your hug for you, Larry. Yeah, because you ain't been giving me no hugs lately, man. Just because
Well, I
we left.
can give you a super big one.
Just because we left that broadcast don't mean we still can't virtual hug, all right?
That's right.
All right, y'all. Bye. Nubs, have a great day. I'll see you later on in the metaverse.
Well, I hope everybody's having a great day. It's been a really good broadcast. We've bounced here and there and
Everywhere.
somewhere in between. And
Hey, I'm gonna jump off. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, you have a great day, Nubs. Don't let that door hit in the ass.
Have a good afternoon.
I don't want to see that. That's scary. Anyway, anybody got any thing on their mind they want to talk about? Videos shown, thoughts?
11 9.
You could look around on YouTube here, maybe pick one more video.
Okay.
Oh, there's Freedom Grower. I wonder what he's up to. Oh, he's playing. Pay a cop for a ticket.
Go up.
All right, we got some breaking Fox News here. Breaking Fox News. Fox and Friends Weekend. This video is brought to you by
some name we cannot even figure out.
It says U.S. suspends operations in Sudan. I thought it said something about Biden going to jail.
Reverse it, probably. Yeah.
Government personnel were removed from Sudan's capital city by way of 3 Chinook helicopters. U.S. officials say it involved a week of intensive planning. In a statement late last night, President Biden thanked the unmatched skill of American service members who were part of that, as well as the countries of Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Saudi Arabia, adding, quote, "This tragic violence in Sudan has already cost the lives of hundreds of innocent civilians. It's unconscionable and it must stop." Sudan is now entering its second week of violence as the army and the paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces battle for control of the country. The two sides used to be allies working together in seizing power in a coup 2 years ago. Now they are fighting over which side's general would lead the country's military. A bulk of the fighting has taken place in the capital city of Khartoum. President Biden confirmed that operations at the U.S. Embassy there have been temporarily suspended. Additional countries have mobilized to remove their diplomatic staff as well as the violence has spread to other cities. Civilians are left scrambling to move to safety. Flights have been halted as the airport has been pummeled by shelling. Roadblocks also in place. So it's really terrible to try to get around in this country right now. And people are desperate because this nation of 45 million is running out of food and medicine. Right now, more than 2/3 of Sudan's hospitals are out of service. And according to the United Nations, looters have stolen at least 10.
That video was fake news because it said something about Biden going to jail, and then it did something completely different.
Yeah, he was probably going to visit Trump.
None of them assholes are going to jail. Well, we're all clones, Michael, so take it from that. Well, unless anybody's got anything they want to talk about or whatever, we've been here for 3 hours. I got stuff I need to do, laundry, all that good shit. So if anybody doesn't have anything on their mind or want to talk about or show video or whatever, we're going to get out of here for the day.
Later, bye.
She's like, I'm the fuck out of here.
I'm ready. See you later, bye. Come back. We might have cookies. No guarantee.
I want cinnamon rolls.
Ooh.
With, what's that?
That Cinnabon stuff.
That's Indian curry, I think it is.
Oh, fuck that. I want Cinnabon.
Too much money. Make it your own. It's better.
Well, you ain't got the place for me to make homemade. Not at all. Girl, I've been hearing you so much all morning.
All right, then. Since nobody's piping up, we're going to head out of here. I hope everybody had a great day. Have a better tomorrow. And we'll be here tomorrow, same time, same bat channel.
At least that's the plan.
And I don't own that saying.